The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited. Let's go. Blessings, brothers and sisters. Let's go. Let's get it started. Blessings, blessings. Shalom. Blessings.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell.
Come on, come on.
With a great escape, we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went.
We went, come on.
The 12 tribes of Israel. Who we be, Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim, from Puerto Rico, and Valley from the hearts of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel.
The Lord is calling back Israel.
From Panama, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans, the highest gathering Israel.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. That's right. The Most High is gathering Israel. I'm Elder Ricard Shiar of the Gathering of Christ Church here with our weekly broadcast that we usually do every Wednesday around 6 o'clock. But something is special going on tonight leading in to the new Hebrew and Bible Academy. And yes, we do have a special guest. Elder Lawyer just flew in from England, supporting the brothers there, family there, and the Most High was behind those wings with the angels guiding him. He has landed safely, and if he would like to, he can relax tonight because I have a special guest running into the academy, Elder Shapat, who will be assisting me. But Elder Lawyer, if you're there, want to come in, you know how to do it. Text me and I'll team you in. Thank you for all you do. And yes, welcome back in time for the Hebrew and Bible Academy. And brothers and sisters, for those who have never been in the academy, we want to give you a little insight to what you can expect when it comes to the news with Elder Shapat tonight. Yes, and we are going in, folks. We are going in. It's like clockwork. It's as if the Edomites, Rome, Europe, the world powers are actually playing from a script. It's to a point where we tell you what they're going to do according to the Almighty, and they go right on with it. Right? And that leans into our lesson tonight, our broadcast, our discussion. Jerusalem compassed with armies. What is this according to God, Christ? Prophecy. What's going on with immigration? What's going on with war on crime, and how do that relates to us here in the world, not just America, but abroad. That and more will be discussed tonight as the Most High give us insight. But before I do that, let me jump right in so we can tell brothers and sisters what to expect in the next Hebrew and Bible Academy that begins this Sunday, week 1, creation of the universe, okay? But we'll have a different theme this time. The theme, revelation. Mysteries of the spiritual realm. Not only are we going to go in to creation, we're going to show, brothers and sisters, the angels the Most High utilized through Christ to create in the beginning. Every function of creation has a celestial behind it. The clouds, the rain, the mud. Speaking of rain and mud, Shapat sent me some wild stuff of what happened at this satanic Woodstock type get together they have once a year, and the Most High had it rain on them. And Shapat, I may have to pull that up later. But there's an angel behind thunder, storm, clouds, ice, you name it, there's an angel behind it. So in the creation, we're going to go into understanding what's the celestial. Remember, earth was created in the center of the universe. Everything on the outside of the earth is deemed heaven. That's right, folks. And again, the earth isn't spinning on its axles. That's another lie. The earth tilts like that, but doesn't turn. Everything else moves around the earth. These are celestial beings from the sun, the moon. There's no such thing as a Big Bang. This is a whole what? Orchestrated operation by the Most High himself. And we're going to talk about it by leaning more so into the visual, the spiritual realm. Okay? The spiritual realm. Now, you can enroll, get in, because everyone tried to get in at the last moment. And what happens is you're holding me up because I have to prepare and study. But yes, yet I have to keep on calling people who saying, well, something happened with my enrollment, and I have to wear about 30 hats between Friday and Sunday. Now, even though the administration does a good job, I want to make sure no one is left out. But usually, brothers and sisters, that happens when we drag our feet and hope to get in at the last moment. So do me a favor, if you're going to enroll, just throw your enrollment in there as soon as possible. Go to historytimes.org so that they can process it. You get the information, your welcome pack and everything in preparation for the academy, so you don't have to worry about missing what we are about to go into this Sunday, especially not just with the class, but the news. Elder Lawyer will also be dropping Hebrew. We're learning conversational Hebrew, the ancient Phoenician. The young man does a great job with it, right? Even though I began giving him the level basis, the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, years ago, Elder Lawyer took it and ran with it and is doing a great job. So again, Hebrew, the ancient Phoenician is taught in the academy. And guess what? Anyone that was in this academy will tell you, you can easily learn it. Okay? The origin of the spiritual realm, tracing the serpent seed, how Lucifer became the chief Satan, Christ and the keys to the spiritual warfare. We're going to show you how Christ was able to do what? Operate beyond the laws of physics using another law that's not taught. A law that one could only obtain through faith and purity. We're going to be talking about that. The craft, the priesthood of Satan, versus the priests of God. If any of you understood or have studied ancient priesthoods, you'll realize that Islam, modern day pagan Christianity, Buddhism, and all these Asian religions were and are the priesthoods of Babylon. The priesthood of Babylon, they're Satanist. They're Satanist. And we're going to reveal, showing the paralleling the ancient priesthoods and show you how they have morphed themselves into something new today, but still they're Satanists at the core in this academy. AI technology and the mark of the beast, new prophetic teachings, Hebrew language tools, certificate of completion, live interactions, Q&As, very needed, much needed, kingdom focused curriculum, and so much more. Early enrollment bonus. Okay, there's a bonus for those who enroll early. If you enroll, we're going to let you know what that is. Enroll by, oh my goodness, we up against the roof, the wall, ain't it? Man, we must enroll by 9/5. That's 2 days, what? 2 days from now, 2025, 9/5/2025, and receive access to the last Academy's class. Okay? You'll receive it. If you enroll within 2 days, we will give you the last Academy class that we did in the last Academy. Off the chains. You'll have that as a bonus. Health and fitness guests will also have Elder REI come through. And again, we never went in. We've done this over a decade and never went up on price. Well over a decade. It's only what? $50 a month. More information than you ever receive. Prophecies, news, class, interaction. It costs us a lot to be able to do this. So we thank you for your support. Enroll, enroll, enroll. Let's go. Yeah. So Shabbat, you know I have to do this right. You know what I mean? We're going into here, Jerusalem compassed with armies. And you know what? I got to do this. I'm going to do it right, right? I have the intro for the Academy queued up, Shabbat. So let's see how this is going to work. Let's see how we can work this. Let's see. All right. We're going to queue it up just like we would do this Sunday, Shabbat. You ready? Are you ready, young man?
Let's do it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. This is how we usually do it, brothers and sisters. Let's go. Running up into our first week of your Hebrew and Bible Academy News Live with Elder Shabbat. And of course myself, Elder Ricard, broadcasting live from the belly of the beast, bringing real-time news through a biblical perspective. Wars, rumors of wars, desolation surrounding God's people under the guise of immigration. On top of that, false flags that lead to high policing of God's people. And guess what? Also, Sodom watch. We must keep an eye on LBGT. And I'm not talking about those that are struggling with certain sexual proclivities. Okay, that's struggling through things that they went through and that had a profound negative effect on them and they're fighting through it. Listen, we'll never, try to drill down or come down on people who are struggling in sin. All right. But when you begin to organize sin, unrepentant sin, and get a flag to go with it, folks, that's a declaration of spiritual war. It's one thing if someone is struggling with being gay, understanding that something probably happened as a child, whatever the case might be, and they're looking to get their spirit, in the right place, knowing that that spirit that came in torments them. That's one thing. It's an entirely different thing if you weaponize people and make these people believe that they were born to be this way, and now they're recruited as Marxists to tear down anything God said is right. Okay? So again, Shapat, let me give you a round of applause. Thank you for helping me out tonight, my brother. We going in. Talk to me.
Of course.
What time is it right now over there in England?
It is 11:33.
11:33. Well, we're going to jump right into it because, brother, I don't want to keep you up here all night, right?
But the earth is flat, though,
You know what?
Obviously, I'm joking.
Brother, listen, I don't even argue the flat earthers anymore. I'm like, listen, as long as you follow the law on the flat earth you're walking on and we treat each other right, have at it, okay? Because usually when I walk outside, the earth is flat. So, and we would have a problem walking on a circumference, right? So, since the ground I walk on is flat, boom. Okay, the ground we both walk on is flat. Now let's get together and finish this for the Most High, okay? And let's get out of this nonsensical debate that goes nowhere. But Shapat, what you got, young man?
Well, this feels like for ages, this break that we have in between time with the academy. It's going to be so nice. Let me turn that off. It's going to be so nice to, get right back into the swing of things with the academy. But, brothers and sisters, for you all that have not been in the academy, first of all, you're missing out. Okay, if you have been, but it's been, a few academies since you've been in, or perhaps maybe a year or two, here's just a snippet of what you are missing. At least with the small contribution I do, which is, looking at certain things in the news. And then, of course, Elder gives his commentary, his spiritually Bible-based commentary, right? Now, with all that in mind, here is just an example of some of the things that get revealed, right? Like the scriptures are manifold. Christ says you will know the truth, and the truth, Christ's truth, will set you free. Your eyes become open and you're able to see things clearly. Check this out, brothers and sisters. Now, of course, we are limited on this platform what, the level of detail we can go into. And that's another piece that you are missing in the academy. We're not limited by, certain rules and regulations and policies that YouTube would have, right? But that being said, there is the link to the first example that we're going to expose today. Hands up, brothers and sisters, in the chat. And I posted it there. It's right there. I don't know if there's another way that they can get it. Should I post it to you and you share it, Elder?
Yeah, if you text it to me.
Okay, I'll do it that way.
Okay, text it to me.
Because that way it'll be highlighted.
Yeah, if you text it to me, I'll just put it in the chat.
Perfect.
All right, I have it.
Okay, so as you see on your screen, we have, this is new to me. Okay, when I found this out, by the way, this is from not the academy just wrapped up, a week or two ago, but the academy before that. So around this particular article that's going to be shared with you, well, there it goes. It's highlighted by the channel, A Gathering 144. It's right there. There's the link. Okay. It says here, this is from the BBC. Okay. I found it on the Spectator. Okay. They have a literal society. They changed the icons and the imagery for their thing that they had. Something called the Fabian Society. For you brothers and sisters that are not in the UK, that guy right there with, at the bottom of the screen with the faded shirt and the tie and all that, that's the current UK Prime Minister. Okay, Keir Starmer. Okay, he's, if you believe that, he's the leader of the United Kingdom. He's part of the Fabian Society. What is the Fabian Society? The Fabian Society is a secret organization. Well, not so secret, but yeah.
It's an organization.
Founded in London, and it started the London School of Economics, one of the, not just the UK, but the world's preeminent universities that you can go to learn economics, or how the economy runs, right? The London School of Economics started that, and they do other think tanks, right?
Yeah.
But their literal logo and motto was a wolf in sheep's clothing. That was their original coat of arms. You can't make this stuff up. Now, why is all this relevant? And by the way, this particular story, we're going to get into that in a minute. It's from the BBC, right? I found it on The Spectator. There's a screen grab of it there. We have this special section within the Academy, like Elder was touching on in the intro to this, called Sodom Watch. Okay? Now, you may be thinking, we're Bible-based. Why on earth would we need to have any, watchfulness on what the alphabet people are doing? Well, here's an example. The BBC is right. Apparently, is correct. They're doing the right thing. The BBC is right to restore this pedophile's sculpture. Now, there's the British Broadcasting Company, the BBC, in the UK, their headquarters, they have a sculptor, okay, by this guy, something Gill, what's his name? Eric Gill, was a known, molester of children, what they call pedophile, was known. He put this imagery together, and, in your own time, if you Google that image at the headquarters for the BBC, it's with a grown man standing behind a naked boy. Someone climbed up on this statue and tried to deface it to bring it down. Probably it was someone who suffered at the hands of this activity as a child. And it came out with him wanting to remove this imagery. But the BBC is saying, oh no, we're keeping this here.
Now that's deep in of itself, because see, on the surface, and I know it's horrible, but most of us are just looking into the vulgarity of who would violate children. But what we fail to realize is the occult, demonic, satanic, ritualistic people who are behind these particular sculptures. Why do they uphold this type of behavior? Well, it's part of their religion. What do I mean by that? Well, and this is why in the Academy we're going into the spiritual side to make sense of what we wouldn't normally be able to make sense of. Okay? These people are pagans. Well, these particular pagans, let me show you. These particular pagans, let me put it up here. Real quick. These particular pagans, as you can see here, worship Zeus. And if you know the history of Zeus, hey Zeus, When the pagans infiltrated Christianity and gave you Jesus, even though that's not Yeshua's name, they were secretly worshiping this guy right here, Zeus, who had an affinity for little boys. See here? Do y'all see this? Y'all see this here? A grown man, naked, with a little boy with wings that he violated. The Romans, the Greeks, let me tell you, they were always known for this, folks. This is their thing. This is their get down. They're talking about Epstein. It's part of the religion. They're just trying to make it out, some individuals with all this other stuff, this blackmail and all this crap. They'd rather you think it's blackmail than to tell you it's a part of their satanic religion. Being performed, that's right. That's being acted out in plain sight. In plain sight. This is their religion, folks. Y'all seen what happened in Brooklyn when they went under the tunnel and they seen all these beds and stuff that was taken out of that tunnel by those people down there in Brooklyn? They're covering these things up. These are Satanists, right? But I'm not going to stay too long on that, but that's an example, Shapat, of what we're talking about here, right?
Yep.
And and instead of them taking this nasty stuff down, which is really Zeus and a boy, being worshipped in plain sight by another guy who was a deviant. Okay? A deviant. Instead of them taking this crap down because they put what? They put a protection glass around it. Right? But go ahead, Shapat. What's next?
Right. And, just on the Fabian Society part of that story, right? Because the BBC is saying it's correct to keep it. And the current Prime Minister of the UK is Keir Starmer, which is a member of the Wolf in Sheep's Clothing organization, otherwise known as the Fabian Society. The Fabian Society, also a little bit of history, essentially started the Labour Party, okay? Well, I believe that's essentially the equivalent, the UK equivalent of the Democratic Party in the UK. Let me repeat that. The Fabian Society, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, started the Labour Party, and some of its functions, okay, the first Fabian Society pamphlets, the little booklets that they used to give out in the 1900s, were advocating tenets of social justice coincided with the zeitgeist of so-called liberal reforms during the early 1900s. This included eugenics. So in plain English, the Fabian Society, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, was part of the eugenics movement. To wrap up this first story, they favored a national education system because, quote, it is the classrooms that the future battles of the empire for commercial prosperity are already being lost. So to wrap all this in plain English, brothers and sisters, if the picture's not clear yet, we took a story from what we have in the academy under the little section of Sodom Watch. In plain English, because of things like the Fabian Society, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, they are putting this lifestyle choice in the education system. They are targeting the children to change their minds because that's where the battle is won and lost.
Exactly. And this is why they move the children from their parents right from under our nose without us even thinking about it. Socially engineered the society into separating parents from children. At one time, we knew what these freaks were doing. Why do you think when our parents were growing up, our great-grandparents after slavery and all that, would say don't go to the other side of the tracks? The KKK folks, with them hangings and stuff, these were ritualistic hangings. They had nothing, the people think it was because of racism. They were covering up the fact that these were sacrifices to their gods. Right? So I'm going to tell you, folks, They separated it from our children. They came out and said, well, the children need schooling, especially slaves who've been deprived education. And the first schools were what? Bible study. Right? Because we wouldn't have trusted them around our children. So they started Bible study. Good thing, reading, writing, the Catholic Church with all that. And then, you know what? That softened us up a little bit to allow at least our children could be learning the book that we trust in. But it was conditioning parents to allow strangers, these deviants, to have access to children. See? And we got used to that. And then the labor force came in where it would require many hours away. Well, the mother stayed home regardless of that. It was almost a shame. Let me tell you, that was deemed negative on a man to have his wife out there in the workforce. Men were shamed by their families. Like, don't get a wife if you can't keep her up to take care of the children, because we need our children raised and protected, nurtured, trained. But they switched that up. Right? So now that we got the man and woman working and making it where the income will not provide you to have a decent living standards, now you both have to work. And they're sitting there satanically doing the Birdman hand rub, saying, yeah, bring them to us, put them in daycare. Put them in daycare now. And they have conditioned a society, and now look at the children. Now the children are running around, what? Angry, upset, questioning their parents, indoctrination, being diagnosed falsely in all these things, being put on all types of medicine. At the end of it, the world got to deal with these people. Like the scriptures say, that they would raise in the very end menstruous monsters. And now, LGBTQ, now these others, the satanic army against Christ, they're just Satanists, now can have more recruits to join their armies against those who believe in God. See? It's secular. What's next, Shapad?
Right. Next up, and you know, what is the title? Okay, I see it here. Jerusalem compassed with armies.
Yeah.
In that vein, next up, okay, this is from The Guardian, so I don't know if there's a delay in it reaching you, but I just sent it with the link.
Okay.
Next up, yep.
Let me see the next link.
Yep.
All right,
Yep,
let me see here.
you have the image there.
Let me grab it here. No, I don't see it. You talking about the one with the lady, the trans person?
Let me see. No.
No, send it again. I don't see it.
Okay, let me send it again.
Through the messages.
On the, you want me to do it on the Zoom chat?
No, just do it here. The other one worked.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not working.
Okay, I see it. Where it says The
There we
Guardian.
go. Yes.
All right, I'll tell you what I'll do here. Because it's not coming up here anymore, but it came on the screen here. So what I'll do,
Okay.
Hold on.
And this story is going to tie in a little bit later, okay? Especially with what Elder was mentioning starting off today's broadcast, which is, you know, doing certain things, certain activities, whether they be real or fake, really is irrelevant, okay? But the laws and their aim with those laws and policies usually winds up being us, okay? Case in point, 9/11, okay? All these countries in the Middle East, the Patriot Act, all these laws, and somehow, like Elder mentioned, T on the corner is now the target.
Yeah,
But-
guy, he's just trying to get through life. All of a sudden, our people become the target. But go on.
Right, with all that being said, here's another layer to this, because it's not just how it was in 70 AD with garrisons and stopping food coming in and out. And those things will be a feature, but technology has advanced. So with that in mind, let's see the other pieces of Jerusalem being compassed with armies. Here it is, and I've superimposed the wolf in sheep's clothing, because the guy, at least the face of the government, Sir Keir Starmer, a member of the Fabian Society, his government said this, as reported by The Guardian. Mainstream news title: UK creating a murder prediction tool to identify people most likely to kill. And it's using algorithms, okay? Allegedly being used to study data of thousands of people. No, that's a mistype there, isn't it? Whoever wrote this article, that's quite disingenuous, because it's not thousands of people. The population of the UK is millions of people. So surely you're targeting the whole population, aren't you? But anyway, exclusive: algorithms allegedly being used to study data of thousands of people in a project critics say is chilling and dystopian. Okay? Think Minority Report, but it's real. It is real. Now, cart before the horse, we are in a few articles' time gonna bring out something that, you know, if they have this technology to supposedly predict when people are going to be doing murderous activity, why is murdering still going on? Why is mass shooting still happening? But anyway, I digress. So that's that. I don't know if you want to speak on that, Out before.
Yeah, well, I want to speak on the predictive programming, and this falls right into what we are about to go into. Jerusalem compassed with armies. We've also allowed them to label us as the threat to society, the menaces of society, by allowing them to give out some bogus crime data to make everyone out there believe that there's a such term as black on black crime. There is no such thing as black on black crime. Crime is crime. Let me make it clear. Crime is crime. So you can't come with your bogus statistics about what happens amongst black people, that now you've inundated and flooded the zone with all of these other people who are now determined black and or brown in our community now.
Wait till you see. I don't know if you've seen the link I sent, or you saw it anyway this week.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Okay.
You know how the Spirit does it. I didn't see it, Shapad.
Yeah. Wait
But
till you see.
let me tell you, we don't like crime. Okay? Criminals do crime regardless of color. People usually, if there's a murder, they're usually murdering someone within proximity of them. That's common sense. Everybody is segmented and segregated with the people who looks like them or culturally connected with them. So I don't expect it to be, when Chinese people kill Chinese people, that Chinese on Chinese crime?
Thank you. Where's the white on white crime?
Where's the white on white crime? See, but if you take a satanic media that only focus on one thing to get an outcome, they can convince anyone of anything. If all I'm looking at is murder, and I'm not balancing it with all the families who don't do that, all the people who doesn't do that, because that would be boring news, folks. Okay? It doesn't give you that thing where the government must kick in to help because there's so many people that aren't a part of crime. It doesn't feed into their narrative against our people, Jerusalem. See, if you just did news based on what people do every day, there would be no news, folks. So we have to stop buying into this narrative of black crime. What the Hades is that? Crime is crime. And then you push all these people up next to us in our neighborhoods, and you phoned us into the black and brown bubble. Now you can get a Somalian criminal who came through that's black, and now he's under the label of black crime now.
Or East Indian.
An East Indian, a dark East Indian, done raped somebody, and now his numbers is with black crime. So we got to stop feeding into this garbage. They're trying to, what? Justify what they're about to do through their fudged, evil data.
Mm-hmm.
And through the data, they're going to convince us again and say, you know what? Yeah, man, we need the police and the military to come in, man. And they're going to be like, well, okay, I'm glad you said so, because suppose we could make it where, based on what? Predictive information and data and AI, suppose we can get people off of the streets before they have an opportunity to murder. How would you like that? There's a certain profile, there's certain profiles that AI have figured out that leads to one becoming a murderer. Right? So, quote unquote, remember you heard it here first. They're going to say, they're going to say stuff like this. They use World War I and World War II for everything, folks. Remember this. So, remember I told y'all this first. They're going to say, suppose we could have gotten rid of Hitler before he became a tyrant, before he became a murderer. There's certain behaviors that we figured out through algorithms that lead to a Hitler. See? Who's not going to buy that? But then you're going to see, only thing they're going to be hemming up are us. Right? So predictive programming. What you got next, Shapat?
Next up, in that same vein, okay, this is from an outlet called Off Guardian.
Yes. Hit the
Okay.
like button for us too, sisters, brothers and sisters. We're about to go in. Hit the like button. Go on.
All right, this is Off Guardian. We do our utmost to vet the information, especially with the articles that we share, so as not to give what they call false or misleading information or fake news.
Or what they call misinformation.
Yeah. But yes, this is quote unquote alternative media, but within the article, it references and links to mainstream sources in order to build their article, right?
Yeah.
So it's no different than mainstream news is the point I'm trying to convey, especially for you brothers and sisters that have never experienced the news in the academy and how we do it, all right? So anyway, in the vein of what you was just mentioning, Elder, and the fact that this Jerusalem compassed with armies, it's gonna be 2025 version of of 70 AD. Okay,
Yeah.
so not just military. There's technology, which, by the way, reminder, we get inundated with so much information that things literally slip our mind. This thing that we're on right now, the internet, was a military operation. It was military funded. GPS, Global Positioning System, is owned by the United States. Look it up. But anyway, here it is, title, UK MPs call for digital identity to tackle what? Problem, reaction, solution? What's the problem they created? They literally ship in illegal migrants, give them hotels to stay in. They get food for free, 3 square meals.
Not just hotels, Shapat, luxury hotels.
Right.
While stepping over our people in the street.
To the tune, like the per head room count, just the room, not like anything else, not the food. It's like, I think the average is about 1,500 pounds per month per person. Times that by however many thousands. It's billions it's costing the UK taxpayer every year. But anyway, back to the title. Okay, so that's the problem they created. People are reacting all up and down everywhere in the UK. There is literally, like you mentioned, Elder, with the, it's something going on in the air, but they are stoking race wars, right? No bones about it. If you drive up and down everywhere, and they are marking territory, and I can understand. Like if I was outside of this truth, right, and all I was British, and I had no idea or concept that Christ has a kingdom, and you work towards that kingdom. The kingdom was within you. Our kingdom is not of this world. If I didn't have any of that, and all I knew was just Britishness, I would I feel to an extent where people are coming from in the UK with this, yo, we're putting up our flags as a marker to say all the illegal immigrants need to leave, right? But usually we end up being the target of that too. Anyway, back to this story. That's the problem they created. Here's the reaction: problem, reaction, solution. The UK MPs are calling for digital identity. That's going to be the solution to fix illegal immigrants coming over on boats from France, which is a free country. They're not in harm's way in France, but they come to the UK because the UK just says, oh, here you go. Here's free housing. Here's free food. Here's free money. Come, please, one, bring all. Why are they doing that? Is the population dying? Do they need a tax base from low working class people where half your pay, once you account for not just your income tax, but your national insurance contributions, your council tax, the VAT, which is 20% that you pay on everything you purchase? When you add all these taxes, people at the lower end of the spectrum are actually paying half their income in tax. They need to increase that base. So when they do that by bringing in migrants, economic migrants, it's going to help sustain their country. Back to the article. Problem, people are reacting. What's the solution that they just had sitting on the shelf for ages? UK MPs call for digital identity to tackle illegal immigration.
And exactly. A permanent slave class. And what's deep about this, Shapat, what happened in the news today, they showed so-called Trump heading up an operation to shoot some so-called drug dealers who were coming over the waters through Venezuela into the United States with drugs, blowing it out of the water with a drone.
Wow.
Someone said that to me before I reached out to you. So now they're setting up perimeters and getting us adjusted to what? They getting our people to adjusted to, to get behind war on American soil against citizens. Because think about this, folks. You only hear about drone strikes over during what? Desert Storm. Them going against Al-Qaeda. So now someone can be on a boat and now the news can narrate it any way they want and say, well, these were drug dealers with no proof and just killing people on waters near America to get us adjusted to what they're going to do within the United States borders, folks. Because suppose, the drug dealers sneak over the border with the drugs. Now, do the drones just slow up and just fly back? Or does it strike now on American soil? That's what we are to look at next. Because then if it's allowed to do this based on what's coming on the outside, then they can now use it and say, well, there's another feature in these drones that are useful that we'll utilize to monitor crime. To monitor, when they say crime, it's talking about the children of Israel, Jerusalem. And we're about to tie that in one moment. Go ahead, Shapat. What you got next?
Next up, the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, so you have a few sources, depending on where you are with this geo-fencing they have with access to websites.
Yeah.
Let me do this here. Send it here. You got two links I just sent to you, Elder. You got Wales Online, and you also have The Guardian. Sometimes The Guardian, once you see one news for the day, they want you to pay and subscribe to click on any other news later that day. So if it's not working for you, you can use the Wales Online link. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. You got one of these bad boys. Okay. You got a passport, right? You got a passport. That's nice. Boarding pass to be scrapped with new United Nations air travel rules. So long story short, similar to, it's just ever more increasing steps, like the previous article where, oh, there's too many migrants, illegal migrants. Hey, the solution should be to stop them from being able to get paid under the table. We're going to have a digital identity thing to prove that you're here lawfully and legally. Don't worry about the fact that there's already in place, by the way, a right to work. And when you apply for jobs, the employer is legally bound currently right now to make sure any staff they hire has the right to work in the UK. So the need for this digital identity thing is just laughable. But anyway, all these news stories brings us to the point you was talking about, Elder, earlier, which is the so-called black on black crime. And you have others who are doing the crime, but they get labeled black, and it's we get the pushback.
And which one is that?
That's the link with the another trans person. Unfortunately, there is an LGBTQ LMNOP part to this story. Let me send the link once again.
See that?
I'll send the link once again. In case.
We should have never fell for this. There was never a black and brown alliance. And speaking of that,
now this one.
Speaking of that, Shapiro, before you do that, now don't forget Barack Obama, who is a foreigner who was raised under Marxist, not allegedly, okay, from another country, raised in Indonesia. Muslim, being in Islam was the religion of Indonesia and all these other Eastern religions. It was a transgender man, a trans so-called woman that used to babysit him, right? And then he get in position and they ask him, well, what you going to do specifically for the blacks who got you in? Our people have Michelle and Obama on their wall and all of this. He says, you don't know how America works. We can't do it like that. Tell me, you don't know how America works. So what was he telling us? And then they flipped it when he said that of every time while he was in office for 8 years and did something specifically for other groups of people that came over from Kenya under the black and brown alliances. What he did for Asians, what he did for the North American Indians, which is really $5 Indians under the Dawes rolls, who white people who realize if they can say they're Indian, there's some property for them. For 5 minutes straight, they showed him doing something specifically for other people where our people couldn't get access, wouldn't be able to get access to any of the benefits because we don't fit the description of the immigrants or of the Indians or of other people, Japanese or others. And then every time they showed another group he was giving something specifically for, they would have him say, you don't know how America works. He was telling the truth. He's like, how do you think America was built? Slaves were meant to serve the nation. And when we come over, they serve us. Know your place, slaves. Y'all didn't vote me in for your cause. You vote me in to keep America going. Okay? So when I come over from Kenya, right, and with sketchy credentials and all of this, because really, if you're from these other countries, can you be president of the United States? And then they try to do the same thing with Kamala, for being from someplace else. Like, you don't know, man, it tripped me out how when someone says, they ask him a good question. Why can't you do something specifically for the black Americans who voted you in? Huh? You don't know how America works. Right? America is an amalgamation of many nations, and everyone contribute. I'm like, he said a bunch of nothing. But soon as then they started showing all of the executive orders and all the things he was signing specifically to give money to every other part of the black and brown coalition, to put them up on us now and give them the money that our civil rights allowed them access to, only so that what? When the people come over, we're deprived as a tribe of Judah, which will lead to what? Impoverished, unbuilt neighborhoods that leads to more crime. And then he was the one who pinned in the satanic army that would come against us under the letters. Go ahead, Shapat.
Man, oh man, this particular story, because it's a story, is wild.
What's
okay,
that?
I don't know if you the link up with the another trans person arrested for killing, that one. Yeah, right there.
Minneapolis mass shooting, huh?
Yeah. Now it's okay. So let's go through a few things here.
Yeah.
Title: Another trans person arrested for killing, one day after the quote-unquote Minneapolis mass shooting, right? Where to begin? Okay, let's start with the name, okay? Names are important, right? This individual that you see on your screen, his name, he believes he's a woman. His name is, and I'm going to be butchering this, okay? My East Indian understanding of names.
And so I take it he was born a boy.
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
So this is somebody made up. Well, go ahead.
Yes, Snehal Ansh Shrivastava.
Okay.
And now the last name is important. Shrivastava is a 26-year-old male who goes by the name now. Check out this name. Sasha Shakur. Who else has the surname or last name Shakur?
Look at that.
Is it Tupac Shakur?
So
now, go on.
First of all, Shapat, I would like to question this story altogether because you know how the Hegelian dialectic works. But when I'm looking at this, why give it that name, knowing that most people, right, really aren't paying attention? And at a flash, they would just hear the name and believe, oh, man, our people have to stop, man. We always doing crime. When we see the name in passing without understanding this person's background, just the name itself adds into what? The black crime.
There's more.
There's more. Listen, it's a black, brothers and sisters, it's a black crime facade.
There's more. A picture says 1,000 words. Now, whatever budget they have with these stories, because they seem so like I don't know, someone had two seconds putting together a small little bit on a Family Guy sketch or something. But if you scroll down on that article, Elder, you're going to get to an image of the side of a house, apparently where he lived, okay, and spray painted is BLM and Free Palestine. Black Lives Matter.
Oh, man, this falls right into where I'm going, Shapat.
Yep. And now, real quick, Elder, check that. When I said the name is important, this guy's name, okay, according to the story, he's changed his name to Sasha Shakur. And if you scroll back up, you're going to see some green banner with Sasha Shakur there.
Look at this.
This guy literally goes by, it says, I'm Sasha Shakur. I'm a black Indian two-spirit trans being. raising funds for myself and my community. Now, if you don't know anything about the various different tribes that there are within the so-called quote unquote Native Americans, okay, they do have one or two of them have something called two-spirit, and it has nothing to do with trans people, but they have this thing called two-spirit. So this East Indian, and I'm going to prove it, this East Indian is literally cosplaying, at least the way they've presented this story, this character is cosplaying literally as black. His name is Shakur, invoking Tupac Shakur. He's spray painting BLM, Black Lives Matter. And he's literally said, I'm a black Indian two-spirit trans being. No, brother, you're an East Indian. And I want to go into the name, but at any time, jump in, Elder.
Go ahead.
I want to go into his name, okay? Now, his name, again, he was born Snehal Anch Shrivastava. What is that name? Shrivastava, because I wanted to be sure whether or not, his lineage. Here's a Wikipedia page, Shrivastava, and I'll send it to you so the brothers and sisters can see it, okay? Wikipedia page on the name, the surname, Shrivastava. It says, Shrivastava, Hindu pronunciation, Shrivastava, also spelled variously as Shrivastava, Shrivastav, or Shrivastav, is a common surname found among a certain community in upper caste Hindus, because by the way, that whole caste, which they're literally racist towards their own selves in India, is a Hindu caste system, but this surname or family belongs to something called, I'm going to butcher this, Chitratuvanshi Kayasha. Sound like I'm speaking in tongues. But anyway, that particular group, when you click on that group on the Wikipedia page, right, when you click on that, it brings up this. Now, again, this guy was spray painting as per the story, okay? This character was spray painting. A father, a white guy, just dropped off his son at the neighboring school, saw somebody spray painting on buildings and was like, hey, what you doing? They got into an altercation. And as the story goes, this strange East Indian character cosplaying as black shot the father, right? That surname that he has, the East Indian name, what were they known for? Let's make it clear.
This is what they are reporting. Let me put it that way.
Right.
Right. This is what they are reporting, folks. All right.
Right.
But go on.
Now, what is that? That name came from a particular group in India, the Chitraguptavanshi Karasha group in North India. Right, is a subgroup of the Hindus of the Kayasha community that are mainly concentrated in the Hindi belt of North India. He's an East Indian, right? So confirmed. In Hindu texts and traditions, people that come from this group, they are described to have descended from the Hindu god Chitragupta. They have literally hundreds of gods, but anyway, who is usually depicted carrying a flowing notebook, a pen, and an ink pot. Now, this is interesting and is engaged in writing down human deeds. I thought that was just a strange piece of information down this rabbit hole of this so-called character, that his name is tied to an East Indian god that was known for writing, and he's spray painting on walls.
Well, I believe, and I'm thinking about this, another way of them undermining us intentionally. And I'm surprised we didn't figure this out a long time ago. These people come over intentionally to undermine and to destroy us socially, politically, financially, and otherwise. To work against our interests. That's what they're here for. And they'll side with the government to get a position as long as, let me tell you, as long as they can help Esau against us. And these families, when you look at these family names, they could be from the occultists and high elites of India that's linked with Esau, because all these top families, out of all the nations, there's top families that are connected in these satanic occults that lead all the way back to Babylon.
Elder, interesting you should say that, because that same family group, right? It
Yeah.
says under the colonial rule, because side note, the British, when they had an empire, they literally divided that area, Eurasia, and they called one people Indians and the other people Pakistanis.
Yeah.
But anyway, under the colonial rule, many Kayashta families became early beneficiaries of the British power and successes in the subcontinent, meaning that family, they were there with the British and ruling because they were linked in with the British.
And look at that. So they'll get these visas and all that to come up under us with this black and brown garbage. Use these names and work. I don't know. Crisis actors, I don't know. People need to look that up. But usually they can. And this side, Shapat, this proves that this black crime garbage they've been saying for years is a straight lie. Because if there was crime amongst us like they're actually reported, they wouldn't need.
It's unnecessary.
They wouldn't need stuff like this. Right? Because now this goes under a crime report under black and brown people, especially by the name of Sasha Shakur. Our people that see this on the surface not even realize that this guy's from someplace else cosplaying us to demonize us, knowing that law enforcement is going to now pick up and begin to cause more harm, engaging our people because of this. East Indians aren't going to be disturbed by police through this. Understand? So they're doing this intentionally, knowing that the blowback will be against our people. What are we looking at, folks? We're looking at an orchestrated, y'all see it? Jerusalem compassed with armies. Now, what do I mean by that? Now it's time to go in. Now it's time to go in, Shapat. If you can, Elder Shapat, get me Luke 21 real quick.
Hold on, let me open it.
Grab Luke 21. 1 second. Luke 21. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are we looking for prophetically based on what's going on now? And brothers and sisters, I need you all to pay close attention. If you have never listened to anything so far, I need you to check out what we are about to break down concerning how they're going to use the armies against our people. They must first demonize with a cause to bring in the armies. And then we need to talk about what's next. Christ told us how they operate, right? So what we do, we start with the prophecy first. It's how you do it even on your own. And then you see the games they play that will fulfill their particular role in the prophecy. Right? They have to have what? Justification to come against us. Right? Elder Lawyer, I'm doing that. I'm sorry, Shapat. That's by habit. All right. Real quick, Shapat, if you can read what Christ foretold. Luke 20 and 21 and 20. Let's read that.
All right. This is the Gospel of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
Let them that are in Judea do what?
Flee into the mountains.
Flee into the mountains. Come on.
And let them which are in the midst of it depart out. And let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance.
These be the days of vengeance. Come on.
These be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
That all things which are written must be fulfilled. Now, brothers and sisters, why is this so important? Christ foretold this before what? The Romans, the Edomites, came against our people in 70 AD. Right? Think about this. So we knew exactly what to do based on what Christ said would happen. Even back then. Our people now are allowed to still go on in the earth because of those who listened to Christ back then. Fleeing and going into other areas, having families that will lead to us coming here at the very end of it. Right? For these be the days of vengeance, read. That all things which are written may be fulfilled. Come on.
Verse 23. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people.
Read.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
That was speaking of our people. Read.
And shall be led away captive into all nations.
Slaves, where all the Gentile nations, the pagans now, can come up on our people, serving under a curse by our God for disobedience. So that's the interest that all the other nations have, East Indians and all that, because by default, by our fall, they take what? They take the higher position. Automatically. Our fall allows them to take the higher positions throughout the earth and throughout all societies. This is why they work together against us. Right? And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, read.
And shall be led away captive into all nations.
Into all nations. So when you see slavery, this is Christ prophesying the slavery. So even though we were scattered for disobedience, the Most High kept his spirit with us so that one day he could gather us together again as his people. As we come closer to the prophecies, the Gentiles are very anxious and are nervous knowing their time is ticking down. So now they're rallying under immigration to reinforce this particular fall and to get rid of us all together under the guise of survival of the fittest. Eugenics is their program to get rid of us before it's done. Okay? And all of the Gentile nations are complicit. See? And I'm talking about the higher levels of their spiritual organizations understands this. That our people, especially black people in America in specific, are the biggest spiritual threat to them. Understanding the prophecy of what we will do, blacks in America, as a tool by God to awaken the world. See? They shall be led away captive into all nations. We're the Israelites, the children of Israel. Read.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
Of the what?
Of the Gentiles.
So that means they'll move us out of the way and you'll see Gentiles in our land. Because once we lost Jerusalem, 70 AD, and we're going to talk about how that came to be, Christ has given us what? Another prophetic era. The prophetic era after we lost Jerusalem, brothers and sisters, would be the times of the Gentiles. What are they in particular? It's the time period the Gentiles would have to rule before the reckoning, before the second coming. See? So what time are we living in? The times of the Gentiles. So it says, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. These are non-Israelites. Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So we're living in the time of the Gentiles. So through this prophecy, the Gentiles now bear rule over the earth. See, but they're over the carnality side of what's given them. Materialism, carnality, because they're carnal. We have the spiritual side on the earth. We're God's people, folks. So they must what? They must coerce us into materialism. They must move us into carnality in order to gain what? The higher ground against us. And if we don't listen to them, if we don't fall victim to them, they have no power. They cannot come against what they're not allowed to. See that? So it says, so we're going to focus on this real quick. We're going to focus on this part. And when they shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation is nigh, right? But then it says what?
21.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, going back down, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, right? So we're focusing on really that Judea was compassed by what? Armies. Compassed by armies, right? Compassed, Luke 21:20. When you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies. So let's see how that went down, right? First and foremost, when we look at Israel today, Elder Shapat, brothers and sisters, we see the same people who was behind destroying Jerusalem at the wall, the Wailing Wall in Israel. When Christ said that we would be scattered and go into captivity, right? I need y'all to think about this for a second. So these are the same people who came against us. And now, it's not just Muslims, brothers and sisters, at the Wailing Wall. It's also nations from other races of people. You have Muslims at the wall. You also have what? Pagan Christians at the wall of all ethnicities, who are all colluded together in this conspiracy. And I call it a conspiracy because why? They know the truth, but yet refuse to tell our people. And they're worshiping the same God who have given them the land, Samael, Satan. Okay? Now, why am I bringing up this wall in particular? Well, let's go over a little history real quick, if you will. Right? Now let me bring up some history for you all. Right? In 70 AD, here, right now, here are the two Edomites, Vespasian and Titus, who was behind destroying Jerusalem in 70 AD. Vespasian and Titus, Romans. Now, why am I showing this? Well, let's check this out. Let's check this out now. Let me get this right over here so you can all see it. Right? They say a picture says 1,000 words. Here are the people who destroyed our people in Jerusalem. Clearly, they are what you would call Europeans, Edomites. They're not Japheth. Whoever telling you that, they need to learn again. These are Edomites. I have the history on it. Okay? And now, almost 2,000 years later, they're at the wall right here. The same people who destroyed Jerusalem, who looks like this, was behind what? Christ's prophecy coming against Israel to put us in captivity. Now, I need y'all to check this out, if you will. Now, when you go into the Josephus, War of the Jews, let me get it. When you go into Josephus, War of the Jews, I have it here. I have it here. When you go into Josephus, War of the Jews, where are we at? Chapter 7. At a time when they came up against our people. Let me get here. It says right here, and now Titus pitched his camp within the city. Now, we all know who Titus is, right? If y'all don't know, let's go back. Vespasian and his son Titus. These were the Edomites who were given what? Charge to destroy black people, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in the southern kingdom with the help of outsiders, Gentiles. And now Titus pitched his camp within the city at that place which was called the camp of the Assyrians, having seized upon all that lay as far as Cedron, but took care to be of the reach of the Jews' darts. So they wanted to make sure they didn't get in proximity of us shooting darts. Listen to this, of us, our arrows. He then presently began his attacks, upon which the Jews divided themselves into several bodies and courageously defended the wall, while John and his faction did it from the Tower of Antonia. The Tower of Antonia, from the northern cluster of the temple, and fought the Romans before the monuments of King Alexander. Now, why am I pointing out, brothers and sisters, the Tower of Antonia? Well, Josephus exposes them in history. Well, the Tower of Antonia was turned into a fort that they would use to come up against our people who were still left in Jerusalem. It was turned into a military base. And you would never guess, you will never guess, folks, listen to this, what wall they are worshiping at the Wailing Wall. That's right, folks. The fort of Antonia. Thanking the God that gave them the power to destroy our people in 70 AD. straight stone worshiping to gods. Behind this wall is where the armies stood. Now, something in particular, and I'm going to bring it up to today. Well, they couldn't engage us with hand-to-hand battle. We were too strong for them. So Titus told his father, well, listen, we'll just wait them out. We'll dig a trench around them, since they have the high ground of Masada. Won't let any food, water, or anything to sustain them into the mountain. Look into this history. That's equivalent to what? Taking away our right to earn, the daily sacrifice, firing us, leaving us without being able to sustain, depleting the treasury so that they can now have plausible deniability and say, well, there's no money, so we can't help you. Cutting off all of the programs and all of that. And then the food and water we do drink or get is poison. Same script. So what happened? It's in the Josephus. They know what happens when people begin to starve out. It tells us in Josephus that then the people that were left in Masada broke out in gangs for the sake of survival. Okay? It was like the Walking Dead up there. The survival of the fittest. So the younger men became the military, but the military wasn't fighting the Romans. The gangs started coming against their own people for the sake of survival. Sounds familiar. Where now the criminals in the area become what? They become the tyrants, the controllers, like the gangs have become. See? Raping and all these things happened because they didn't think initially that they would be up there for 7 years. See? Our people didn't think that they were going to be up there for 7 years. So now that there's no outside force like the military to actually police us and come against us, and now all of the high men of authority and law is gone, now the young people are ruling without any spirit towards righteousness. See? Where there's no law, there's anarchy. There's chaos. So they sat back and just let us pick each other off like they've been doing, watching us in our communities for decades. The same way as in Masada. Only to now come back and says, well, we have to do something about this crime. See? And eventually we lost Jerusalem and went into captivity. But that's not the piece that I want to stay on. What happened 4 years before this? 4 years were what? 4 years before these guys came against these Edomites now. If they were living today, you would see them at the Wailing Wall looking just like these people. They flipped it on us. Through false religion, whack Christianity, and false history, they made us believe that they were the people and that we were the Gentiles. And common sense will tell anyone who read the Bible, when Christ says that his people will be led away captive into all nations until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Common sense, if you're reading the Bible, it tell you that Christ told you there was Gentiles that'll be in the land because his people are serving other races of people in the earth. Now that's New Testament there. So any Christian out there who think that we're not the people, you're not reading. You don't know prophecy. Because if you believe in that Jesus you claim you believe in the Bible, his name is Yeshua. But if you truly believe in him, you would know that the people in Jerusalem are a part of that prophecy, the time of the Gentiles. Right? But what happened 4 years beforehand? This is what happened. False flag. These are the things we must look for. The great fire of Rome. Who is behind this? Yeah. 64 AD. 6 years before Vespasian and Titus would be in position to destroy us. They started off with a false flag that would lead to what? That would lead to, the government policing our areas now. Before this, we policed ourselves. But through this false flag, that gave the government the position to say, well, Rome, that will be here to assist the citizens of Jerusalem from crime. Right? So we're just here to assist. And a lot of us welcomed the armies. See? Yeah, come in and help us out. I mean, getting cats out of trees. We got an extra hand and foot. Yeah, if something go down, we got police. But really, they didn't know what they were letting in would never leave. And that at any time, that same government who's just sending them in as police could change their orders to turn against the people. Right? Are you following me here? The great fire of Rome. The fire started in the merchant shops. The merchant shops. Who's the merchant shops? It's your Asians and all these other people that set up stores. So they were working in collusion together back then to blame our people for the crime. What did Nero do? He dressed up some black and brown people with fringes to look like us. Got some shops burned. And now, folks, if you look at the history of Rome, it wasn't just no white people in their merchant shops. They had Arabs there. They had all nations of people. They had people from Africa there. The same as we see today. These are the people that they give your grants and money to get jobs and education over you, the merchants. So these are the same families of the immigrants we see today who came in with this false flag conspiracy that led to our people going into captivity. See this? The fire started in the merchant shops around Rome's Chariot Stadium. After 6 days, fire was brought under control. But before the damage could be assessed, the fire reignited and burned for another 3 days. In aftermath of the fire, nearly 3/4 of Rome was destroyed. That was the false flag. Because even though they did it, the fire was real. And the people were angry, the citizens of Rome. So any law that Caesar would bring forth for retribution, the citizens of Rome would get behind. Now, either we go to war with them, or we can have what? An alliance where they would at least allow us, I'm speaking of our government officials that were connected to the Sanhedrin at this time. Either we go to war with you, or you allow us to police your areas. Which one of the two? We chose what? We chose the latter. But that negotiation, that treaty was only what? Pushing back the inevitable, which was Christ's prophecy. So now the government who caused these false flags are now blaming us, and now the military has a cause for being in our communities. And in their mind, they're there to help. Back then, they're only following orders, but we need to make sure these Christians, these black Christians, doesn't rise up under some group to come against us, right? And then it says, according to Tacitus, this is an Edomite here. He turned to Christian. Emperor Nero blamed the devastation on the Christian community in the city. Folks, back then the Christians, they were all black. The Romans were the pagans. Outside of the small number of white people who converted under Christianity, Christianity at this time was predominantly all black people, folks. So now they have a cause to do what they wanted to do all along. Nero, this freak who married a little boy, castrated a little boy who looked like his deceased wife and married the little boy. This freak was behind the false flag. So now what we have to look for, we have to also look for when they come up with false flags, but because we know the end result is them coming after Jerusalem, right? Initiating the empire's first persecution against Christians, throwing black people into the arenas, having animals tear us apart, making us gladiators in the arenas for entertainment. See this? So now what we must look for, we must look for false flags first, right? Or stories that the media would report. Look for stories that would get the citizenry of America or any other country behind their last, that's right. You see what it says here? Desolation against our people. Right? So first thing, I'll bring you in a second, Shabbat. So first thing they would do is have a false flag. Through the false flag, bring in an army. And at the end, they'll turn the army against the people. That's history. That's history. But Christ has a plan. The same way he told us that was going to happen, he told us what's going on right now would happen, because this is an extension of the desolation that started in 70 AD. So since we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, Esau had to bring in the technology that would do what? Identify where Jerusalem was scattered all over the earth while serving other nations. Put us in a database using the healthcare system, because everybody on earth will need medical care. See? That's why the Bible, Revelations told us to watch out for pharmakeia. Everybody on earth at one time or the another will need what? Medical care. So then, if everyone go to the hospital and give blood, they're able to now look at the genetics and understand what nation you belong to and whether or not you will become a target at the very end of the desolation. They can identify you now, and they know your bloodline is a threat to their rulership. See how it works? Now, let's bring it up to now. I have a few videos. So now that you understand what? Let me put it here. Now we understand how they go about it, right? False flag, which gives them what? Plausible deniability while bringing in the army, only to go after a target demographic they plan to go after from the beginning. That's the plan. That's what they're looking to do all over the earth. Now, here we go, Shabbat. Now, since we understand their modus operandi, now, Shabbat, right? Remember, folks, all of a sudden we started hearing about black crime. What the Hades is black crime? Right? 12 days ago, this was reported. Fair use for educational purposes only. Fair use so you can see how the Romans work, the Edomites work. Huh? Here's their handiwork now. First, we got to put out there that there's issues. Even though the majority of these crimes and all this is coming from the people they illegally let over, undocumented, who if they commit a crime under black or brown, listen to this, folks, they'll automatically put it, what? In numbers of crime that they would affiliate with the black people who were there minding their business before they let the immigrants in. So if the person is undocumented, but a crime happens in your neighborhood and you report it, it goes under your people did the crime. And through the numbers, they're brought to what? The Oval Office. And then Trump is saying, look at these crime numbers. We have to do something about this. The Arabs and all these other people, they get paychecks and all this. And all the blame falls on us. Fair use. And then, listen to this.
Well, in recent weeks, residents of Washington, D.C. have seen a growing number of National Guard troops on the streets of the nation's capital. It's all part of the president's federal takeover of the D.C. Police Department. And this evening, those troops and other law enforcement officials were joined on patrol by none other than the commander-in-chief. Ed O'Keefe has the details.
Liz, tonight, the president thanked dozens of federal law enforcement officials working out of U.S. Park Police headquarters in the Anacostia neighborhood of Washington. That's closer to where a lot of the violent crime in this city can occur, not where we've seen National Guard troops deployed in recent days. The president's visit comes as polls show an overwhelming majority of Washingtonians oppose the president's federal takeover of the city's police force. The vice president, for example, was even booed during a visit with Guard troops on Wednesday. Restaurant owners in the city have said that foot traffic is down considerably just in the last week since the federal takeover began, despite the president saying again tonight that people are going out because they're feeling safer. Now, since that takeover began last week, federal agents working with D.C. police have arrested at least 630 people and seized at least 86 illegal firearms. And D.C. police confirmed to CBS.
So that would make you think they're accomplishing something, brothers and sisters, by saying they arrested. How many people are normally arrested in the area? Probably the same number. See, they're putting this out as if they're actually tackling something there. But arrest doesn't mean convictions, folks. If somebody get drunk at night and is calling disorderly conduct and have to sleep it off in a sweatbox overnight, they count that as an arrest. So what is this? 600 and something arrests. For what? Indecent exposure? What?
News, there has not been a homicide in Washington since last Wednesday. Another issue on the president's mind tonight, a big legal victory for him, at least a partial one. An appellate court in New York tossing out a nearly...
Now, I'm side-eyeing that particular number too when they say no homicide. Because one thing I know when it comes to law enforcement, they can draw up anything they want, with their reports to get the numbers, to get the outcomes they want the people to think. How many times we did nothing at all, and then we're locked up and framed for a homicide? I need y'all to think about that. How many times you seen them frame us for a homicide? You think they can't do the reverse? You think they can't do, the same way people, they were saying, well, listen, who knows whether or not people died from COVID or with COVID? Right? Well, yeah, they got hit by a truck, but hey, they had COVID. Right? So the whole deal is right here, brothers and sisters. I'm side-eyeing these murder numbers they claim, these homicide numbers now also. Because if that's the outcome they want, they can just call it something else. right? They can get the outcomes they want.
$500 million fine he was set to pay to the state of New York, with one of the judges calling the
So out of nowhere now, they got to do something about black crime. Brought in the military. The military now has what? Authority over the police. They talking about join the police. Are you kidding me? No, the military take precedent over the police. When the military comes in, folks, that's a form of martial law, where now the police must work with the military that's being ordered through commander in chief. This is a declaration of war. And see, 7 days ago in Chicago, this seemed like a familiar scene. They had some family members who came out of nowhere and talked about a mass shooting in Minneapolis. Right? Look at this. Minnesota.
There are no words that can capture the horror and the evil of this unspeakable act.
Now we can expect Minneapolis will have the military work with the police. Now listen to this, folks.
Children are dead. There are families that have a deceased child.
In the same country that tell women that they can abort their children. In the same country that you can bring your baby up to term, and still there's some state somewhere that would allow that child to get terminated.
California tried to pass.
California tried to pass it. So again, I'm not buying into the care for the children narrative anymore.
The selective outrage.
I'm not even going to go into whether or not it's what they're saying it is. But they done ran out of their "we love the children" sympathy card. Okay, they have no more cards to play trying to use children as a tool to pull on our heartstrings. That's why I tell people you need to look at the end game of what they're doing here. All of a sudden you care about children. Or is this about something else? Because this looked eerily similar to another interview that was done on CNN. On CNN, let me get it if I got it. On CNN 12 years ago. Rob Parker, Sandy Hook.
So my name's Robbie Parker. My family is one of the families that lost a child yesterday in the Sandy Hook Elementary School shootings here in Connecticut. I've been contacted by so many people.
Right? Y'all remember that? That looks eerily similar, doesn't it? Right? Now let me show this. See?
Statement looks like the
10 years ago, I thought something had happened.
Statement.
Now, look at what I'm about to show you all here. Look what I'm about to show y'all here. We remember him coming out like this.
So my name's Robbie Parker. My family is one of the families that lost a child yesterday in the Sandy Hook Elementary School shootings here in Connecticut.
Now let's stop it real quick because CNN cut the feed. They cut this particular clip because if we were to go to the original clip that showed Robbie Parker before he came to the microphone, you would witness this.
Statement, looks like the family is there and they're getting ready to make to come to the microphone. So
hold up.
Microphone. So we'll listen.
Hold up now. Now I'm just gonna just let it be there so y'all can see it for yourself. Because a lot of you come from home, you come from work years ago, you used to hearing all the carnage on, and you didn't have time to really look into these things.
And they're getting ready to make to come to the.
Right? Just by a show on the chat real quick. How many of you never seen that before? If you've never seen that before, put 1 in the chat. And hit that like button. If you never seen this before, put 1 in the chat. Look at that there. That's insane, Shapat. So let me tell you, brothers and sisters, what was signed into law. What was signed into law after the Sandy Hook thing. What was signed into law in the event of an active shooter, now under law. Okay? Listen. Under the law. Let me see what he's saying here. All right, thank you, Shapat. Thank you, AC. Under the new law after Sandy Hook, if there's an active shooter, now the states are allowed to take your children, according to the law, are able to take the children into a safe environment and then what? Contact the parents later. They can try to contact them in the midst of it, but they must move them out of that location into another place, and then they'll call the parents, and that law was passed after that. Well, you'd be like, well, what, you go to pick up your kid. Where's my kid? Well, there was something just happened, and you have to call this number now and pick up your children from here. All right? But that ain't what I wanted to focus on. What I want to focus on is in Minneapolis. See, I'll be picking up patterns. So when I seen this, automatically when I first seen this, I realized this looked like the Robbie Parker thing.
There are no words that can capture the horror and the evil of this unspeakable act. Children are dead. There are families that have a deceased child. You cannot put into words the gravity, the tragedy, or the absolute pain of this situation.
And this is where NBC Chicago reporting this. So we know that Minneapolis is going to need Trump to respond. but not before, right? Not before suburban woman punched and knocked out downtown Chicago. Here's another one.
Kathleen Miles only works downtown 1 day a week. Today, she's still suffering the consequences of that random attack. But it is what she found out about the person who prosecutors say did it that has led her to speak out.
He hit me with such force.
Sitting at home in Lake Villa today, Kathy Miles admits the last thing she remembers before her attack on August the 19th is walking past Block 37 in the Loop on the way to the Union Station.
I woke up and my coworker was standing above me saying, "You're okay, we're in the hospital, you've been assaulted."
She then passed out again.
It's the next thing I remember.
Now, and it's not to say that I don't feel for what happened to this lady, but how often does the local news come out for a random punch and publicize it as news on the level we're seeing here? Where they'll come into your home and want to ask who punched you. You know how many people get knocked out a day in North Philadelphia? Or in Chicago? So I'm not saying this didn't happen to the woman. Apparently, she probably was assaulted, and you know what? It shouldn't have happened. But check out how the news is using this. There's no consistency here. So that's what we're going to do now? Are we going to have the news report every time someone get hit over the head in one of these major cities? There wouldn't be room for any other news, folks. So, but it buys into the narrative. It buys into the narrative that justify them what? Compassed in Jerusalem. Right? They like, give us some stories. The more we got of somebody getting knocked out, hit or whatever, it feeds into the narrative that will justify us bringing armies. 70 AD all over again. And now, here we are. Fair use.
President Trump calling out Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, ramping up the threats to send federal agents and National Guard troops to Chicago, saying this afternoon, we're going in.
Make your mind up on Chicago, though? Well, we're going in. I didn't say when. We're going in.
President Trump calling out Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, ramping up the threats to send federal agents and National Guard troops to Chicago, saying this afternoon, we're going in.
Make your mind up on Chicago, though? Well, we're going in. I didn't say when. We're going in.
Well, the president pointing to gun violence in the city over Labor Day weekend. 8 people were killed, more than 50 were injured. But Pritzker pushes back, and he calls any plans to send federal...
In Chicago, is that irregular where 8 people are killed and 50 people injured? How many people go to the hospital? They counting injuries now?
Officers, quote, un-American, and saying that troops don't belong on the streets of American cities and that there is no emergency in Chicago. Joining me now with more is our ABC News senior policy reporter.
He's saying there is no emergency in Chicago. The same people that were behind all the illegals and the undocumented black and brown people, folks, that was pushed on us, who have now inundated the crime numbers that they're going to use against our people to justify military. So don't go for the Democrat is trying to push back against the Republican bit. Do not go for that. Okay? This is the same guy who let all the people in to cause the crime, only to say he's pushing up against Trump for resolving, for bringing the solution that the Democrats created. They're playing two sides against us.
Reporter Ann Flaherty. So first of all, and we know there's a recent ruling as well from a judge in Los Angeles that found that Trump
Okay. let's get these professional readers off the screen. They have never had an original idea in their lives, okay? These people read teleprompters, all right? They're not journalists, all right? Now, let's go to the Justice Department that publishes a list of sanctuary jurisdictions again. And here's all the places you can expect military, because these are all the places the Democrats let in for 4 years straight while Sleepy Joe was in the basement playing with Cheerios. States: California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, Illinois, Minnesota, Nevada, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington, Baltimore County, Cook County, San Diego, California, San Francisco, Albuquerque, all of these. Look, Chicago, Boston, Los Angeles, every place there's a sanctuary city, the government will have, Trump will have what? The authority to send in ICE. This was their plan all the time so that they can now come against our people in the communities. All right? Y'all seeing this? Now, Trump takes control of Metro Police, deploys National Guard to take on Washington crime. Remember that? Right? Chapat brought that out a long time ago in the academy. And now they're moving from one sanctuary city to the next for their end game, the same end game that we talked about for years. Jerusalem being compassed with armies. So what's next? The Bible says, when you shall see it, flee into the mountains, which means what? We must have alternatives. Okay? Christ says, when you are persecuted in one city, flee in the next. Be like pilgrims. So is something getting hot where you are? Have the wherewithal to be able to find what? A safe ground outside of the tyranny. And in order to do so, brothers and sisters, you must have on one level, the least you can have if you didn't do it for your family already, is get passports. That's the least you can do. Which gives what? That gives you broader options. You are at a disadvantage compared to all the other people that lives here who came from other countries. And now the immigrants are saying it. When something go down, we can always go back. We always have options. After they pillaged and took everything to destroy our people, they're leaving us for dead. So, at the least, make sure you and your children have passports. Expedite them if you need to, because that broadens your options. Okay? It's another form of identification that gives you greater options outside of just your country. Every other stranger you see walking around that you see who you know from somewhere else, they have America's ID, the United States, and they have the ID from where they come from. So this is what? Giving you options under the pilgrimage. Because the more they stress us, the more we're going to need to be able to move around. That's number one. Elder Chapat, if you can you grab Matthew 24 and 46 for me?
24 and 46?
Matthew 24.
Mm-hmm.
And 46.
24 and 46. This is the Gospel of Matthew, chapter...
Hold on. 24 and... Let me get it.
Is it 36?
No, let me see it. Oh, man, Luke, what am I doing? That's what's wrong. 1 second. Matthew 24 is what I'm looking for. Matthew 24, right? And I'm going to need you to go down to, and don't forget the Bible says, as in the days of Noah. Let's read 37.
The Gospel of Matthew, chapter 24, and starting at verse 37.
Yep.
But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered in the ark.
And I'm glad Christ expressed this, because what he's showing that would happen in the last days, brothers and sisters, that society is going to look as if it's going to go on forever. So a lot of us are looking for something catastrophic or something deep of biblical proportions to say, hold up, God is doing something here. But there's many things that are going on in the earth right now, prophetically, to show the Most High's hand is judging the world. But it's upon Esau and the nations to have us believe that everything is normal. So they need to keep the essential things going, the Babylonian optics going, to have people believe that there's time. Right? So it says what? As in the days of Noah. Shapat, you sent me something the other day.
The thing in California?
Yes, I'm about to put it up here.
Okay, you got it, or you want me to send it?
No, I got it. I got it. Okay. Fair use for educational purposes only. Folks, 70,000 stranded in a pit. They have an annual freak party for these Satanists every year at this location. And look what the Most High did there.
They call it the Burning Man too, like.
They call it the Burning Man. That, you know what that is, right? Wicker Man. When you look at Wicker Man, if you ever seen Wicker Man, there's people on the island, these crazed out satanic pagans, who lured Nicolas Cage and as a police into the island, him not realizing that he was over there not to investigate, but to become a sacrifice for the Wiccans. So Burning Man is a bunch of these Satanists, and I believe they get a lot of these people to play in a lot of different crisis actors types of roles to convince us of a lot of stuff they're doing out there. These witch covens and all that. Like you see some of these weirdos who be in front of CBS in the morning. And like, I used to go to work and be like, don't these people have to work? Where they've come from? And they sitting there cheering every time according to, the cues are up and they're cheering and all that. I'm like, where these freaks coming from early in the morning? And I have to go up to work and they got 1,000 people in front of Times Square or in front of this news station. Where these people come from? They're Wiccans, folks. They're pagans. Right? As in the days of Noah. Look what the Most High did to their freak party.
More rain.
They have kids out there too.
This year's edition of the Burning Man Festival is officially doomed. First, on opening weekend, a massive sandstorm destroyed hundreds of tents, tore apart shade structures.
You see this? You see this, folks?
Hundreds of tents, tore apart shade structures.
They wanted to make sure everybody see that too. They got a dome where all of them come in at night and just do what they do to the gods. Look what the Most High did.
You have seen the havoc, the destruction.
And severely damaged multiple art installations.
Now you look what they got there. Look what they have there.
Tore apart shade structures.
Folks, they had a tent with nothing but chairs all over for the adults to all come in and just do what they do. As in the days of Noah.
The havoc, the destruction.
And severely damaged multiple art installations. The dust had barely settled when the next disaster struck upon the festival. Not one, but multiple heavy rainstorms, turning the playa into a miserable pool of mud.
Uh-oh, this is not good.
On Sunday evening, roughly 24 hours after the dust storm, heavy rains swept over Black Rock City, transforming the flat desert floor into something entirely different. Unlike most places, this Nevada desert has no natural drainage systems. It's a completely flat surface covered with alkaline dust. Out there, water doesn't drain, nor does it soak in. It mixes with the fine dust and forms a thick, clay-like mud. Within hours, the playa turned into a 7-mile-wide bowl of sludge that clung to everything: shoes, tires, bikes, tents. One witness described the chaos.
So just walking the 10 feet or so over from the tent to the car, all these footprints, just look at my boots. Like, it's kind of heavy to pick my foot up. There's that much extra weight on there.
Camps that had just rebuilt after the sandstorm
Fair
now
use.
faced a new battle, keeping their shelters dry as water seeped in through every gap. The next night, as more rain fell in sheets and puddles spread across the city, the danger almost turned deadly. A man stepped into a waterlogged section of the playa and suffered a suspected electrocution. First responders suspected lightning struck the victim, but further reports discovered electrical equipment had been running nearby. When the standing water became energized, the man collapsed instantly. Emergency crews rushed to his side and airlifted him to a trauma center outside the desert.
I want to show y'all something here, folks.
Equipment had been running nearby when the standing water became energized.
When y'all see this, folks, these are angels. I'm gonna be going into that in the academy. Tornadoes and all of that, folks. These are angels. So while we're marrying, giving into marriage, the Most High have already sent the realm war that leads to what? God freeing us. He've already started the realm war. This is why Esau is what? Ramping up his desolation against us in the cities. Because our God is attacking them. They're not showing you this on mainstream media. They want to show somebody that got knocked over, just got punched in the eye real quick. This is the real news right here.
Thank you.
The real news is right here. Okay? You're talking about, listen, God is waging war against their pagans. Why is this important, folks? They must go to these particular gatherings like Woodstock and all that and have this perverted sex because it brings in what? Dark energy they use against the people. This is highly organized on the dark side. It ain't no people just going out freaking with no purpose. They're calling in dark spirits against us. These are rituals. And that's what they covered up when it came to the P. Diddy's house and made it seem like this was something. They just totally watered that story down by just talking about him and Cassie. There's a purpose with Epstein and all that with their satanic Canaanite religion. Because they're able to open up dark what? Dark gateways to have spirits that they can utilize as genies or jinns to benefit in society, especially against the ignorant. This is our God tearing them a new one.
The man collapsed instantly. Emergency crews rushed to his side and airlifted him to a trauma center outside the desert. The shocking incident led organizers to issue urgent warnings. As more rain fell from the sky, elevate your gear, keep generators out of puddles, tape off your cords, and under no circumstances walk barefoot in the water. The festival's mantra of self-reliance can mean life or death when weather changes the rules of the game. For everyone else, the rain left misery in its wake. Playa mud doesn't brush off. It sticks like cement to everything.
Check it out.
I got like 10 pounds on each foot of mud. Check this out, baby. OMG.
Boots gained several kilos of extra weight. Bikes, normally the main way to get around the 7-mile-wide city, became nothing more than dead weight. The playa got filled with left-behind bikes as attendants restored to their final means of transportation.
Fair use.
Walking.
Now look at these nut jobs. These witches.
What is actually happening?
With the desert sand turned to a sandy slushy, organizers had...
These were the same nuts that were telling people to vote for Obama, folks. Same nuts. That was telling you to vote for Kamala.
Shut down almost all amenities.
All the activities are shut down. We all slept all night with no house music bumping.
Good.
Everything stopped.
So what did Ahia do to you? What did Christ do to you? Y'all try to claim that our God isn't real, right?
All the activities are shut down. We all slept all night with no house music bumping. Everything stopped because of that.
The Most High stopped the party. He put a foot in it. So what y'all don't realize, he sent angels to this thing. He knows these are satanic deviants who would literally eat your children.
It's horrible.
Inside tents and RVS, the mud tracked everywhere. On sleeping bags, in cooking spaces, across the floor of art cars. One longtime burner said, "We thought the dust was bad, but this just followed us everywhere. It's in my bed. It's on my clothes. There's no escape."
Shapat, can you imagine when the flood came? Can you imagine that? This was only a few days.
Right.
If the Most High isn't sending a sign to those who live in the earth, people better wake up. I'm going to tell you.
Another gave up after 10 burns. "I quit. This year broke me. It wasn't fun. It was survival." The weather only added to the sense of exhaustion. Days were already cool under cloud cover, and once the sun went down, the desert plunged into its typical chill. Nights turned bone cold with damp clothes and wet bedding. Festival goers, many used to wearing as little as possible in the daytime heat, now shivered in jackets and makeshift rain gear. Illness became a constant worry. People spoke of friends coughing, sniffling, and heading home early, rather than face more nights of rain-soaked cold. The infamous orgy dome,
The what? The infamous what?
Heading home early, rather than face more nights of rain-soaked cold. The infamous orgy dome, already damaged in the earlier dust storm, got destroyed again by the heavy rain and had to close for good.
So here's the deal. The rain is destroying demonic activity. Because of the rain, the orgy tent was destroyed.
The misery extended to the airport as well. Dozens of small planes were grounded, with only emergency flights allowed in or out. Some operations resumed by Monday, but the mud trapped more than just planes. Whenever extreme weather hits, the festival gates are forced to close. During the dust storm, this led to an immense pile-up of festival goers waiting to get in. A 5-hour wait turned into 15 hours for thousands.
I love people.
And with dust...
Well, yet these fools say there is no God. Who did this?
Blowing in through every crack, many were completely unprepared and had to sit through a real-life nightmare.
that's enough of these fools. Let me show you this. Go back to Matthew 24 for me, as in the days of Noah. When you see the wicker man, or what they would call the fire, let me get it here. Right, let me get it.
(24:37).
Yeah, get it for me real quick. Hold on. Let me put this up here. Right? When you see the wicker man or the fireman, what is this? The ceremony they're dealing with. You get some knowledge here. Folks, that's why I say y'all got to be a part of the academy, because this is how news be going down. Real time. A wicker man was purportedly a large wicker statue in which the Druids sacrificed humans and animals by burning. That's where you get the burning man ceremony from. See? The burning man's ceremony, which the Druids sacrifice humans and animals by burning. What do you think they're doing out there, folks? Why do you think the Most High sent the flood there? You see the angels turning and just strategically just taking them out. The primary evidence for this practice is a sentence by Roman general Julius Caesar, going back to these Edomites, in his commentary on the Gallic War, which modern scholarship has linked to an earlier Greek writer, Pausanias. So, folks, they take this Satan worshiping thing for real. You can think it's a joke. And these are the same pagans that are being our neighborhoods telling us when there's a disaster to follow what they're telling us. They'll come up with fake stories and act and all that to scare us into our own demise. These were the same people that's telling you that you needed to be separated from your families at a time when there was there was something out there. Let me try to be straight here. Guarded here, and made you believe you were supposed to leave your grandparents with strangers at a time of uncertainty, making it where you couldn't even see your own families in the hospital. The Most High sending judgment, as in the days of Noah. Come on.
But as in the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Read.
38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
Read on.
And knew not until the flood came and took them all away.
So who got taken away? The evildoers. Like in the days of Noah. Those that were left behind were the righteous. See? You got these ridiculous Jesuits out there in all black with the Left Behind movies lying, flipping the narrative, telling you that Christians are going to be floated up and taken away because they are part of the church. And that the wicked people are going to be left behind. Because these are Satanist folks who come up with that in Hollywood. Left behind are the righteous ones. So they twisted the scriptures to where what? The evil people are saved and the righteous die. There is no left behind where Christians are going to be floated up into a cloud. That's a bold-faced lie. And they knew not until the flood came and took them away. Those were the evildoers, those who didn't listen to Noah. Read.
So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Read.
Then shall two be in the field. The one shall be taken and the other left.
So things are still going on. And what? The evil is being taken out, and the Most High is preserving the righteous. Read.
2 women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left.
Read.
Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come.
And when it says your Lord doth come, everybody's looking for the day of the Lord. But if you're taken in your evil, that's your day of the Lord. You're standing right before him. And see, everyone is looking for just one moment when it say what? A continual prophecy. If you're taken in your wickedness and you're standing before the judge, you're before what? The day of the Lord. Now you must give an account to him. See? 43, read it. But know this.
But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched.
He would have watched. And would what?
And would not have suffered his house to be broken up.
Read, therefore.
Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh.
Your number can be called. Folks, we're in the day of the Lord. We're living in it. Read.
Verse 45.
Yep.
Who then is a faithful and wise servant?
So this now Christ is talking directly to us. Who is the faithful and wise servant? Read.
Whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season.
Who gave them a position to do what? To rule in the vineyard. See? So you're working with a job. 46, blessed.
Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing.
If he calls you to do the work, and when he come back and call you at any time, even upon his return, he'll have delight to know that, you know what, you were called to the work and you never stopped. See, no one is perfect. But Christ himself take a special interest in someone who really steps to the plate when the Most High called them, regardless of people, regardless of men, regardless of what people might think. Christ is looking at the one he called and saying, through all adversity, he's doing the same thing he did from the day I called him. See? And that's why, I'm going to tell you, that's why when stuff come and stuff try to hit or attack, that's why I'm like this. Don't matter. I'm doing what Christ told me to do. What are you doing? Blessed is the servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Right?
Read a precept.
Come on.
Let me read a precept. Let me get it real quick. Let me get it. Joel 2.
Joel 2. Let me grab it.
The key bit is the question at the end of verse 11. But I'll read verse 11. Joel 2 and 11.
Yep.
And the Most High shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great.
That's those angels.
For he,
read.
For he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Most High is great and very terrible, and who can abide it?
Who can abide it? That's how you can abide it. The Most High in Christ doesn't ask us to do too many things. He says, follow my law because my law isn't grievous. I gave you a work to do, finish it. Right. So it ain't that hard. But even though the adversity is going to come at you, you got to realize, and this is what? This is words of encouragement for brothers and sisters who are out there. You can't do this work and not expect adversity, attacks, undermining, backbiters, destroyers, haters of the work. You can't do this work and not expect that. Betrayers. See? Those who would collude. Whisperers. That would try to pull you into things that you have nothing to do with. That would use other people to fight behind other people. Like Judas. See? You can't do this work and not expect all of it. And Christ's going to look right at you and say, I don't care what they do to you. Work. They did it to me. The servant isn't more worthy than his master. If Christ suffered these things, no, you ought to suffer these things also. So this is words of encouragement to you, brothers and sisters. When you are doing the work of Christ and you know what you're doing is right, expect attacks. Expect adversity. Expect people to turn their backs on you. Expect people to lie on you. Expect people to want your very life dead as a doornail. But the encouraging part of this is what? You'll have a place in Christ's dominion that no man can take, because guess what? The life you're living, man didn't give it to you. God did. See? Huh? Let's go back to, let's end it with our Lord and Savior. Right? And see, you know what? I'm going to tell you, and this really, it fills me with joy to know that we've been called to do such a special work in the end days. To be a light to the world, to let everyone know the God that people always questioned exists. Huh? Let's go back to that, Elder.
Which one? Matthew 24?
Yeah, at the end of it.
Matthew 24:46. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing.
Read.
47.
Verily I say unto you.
That he shall make him ruler over all his goods.
See, that's what we're in this for. See? That Christ will do what? Make us rulers over all of our goods because we were willing to sacrifice for him. Set up churches for him. Bring people to the knowledge of God. Get baptized. To know what the kingdom is. To understand the darkness and the evil of this world. To navigate through it and what? End up unscathed. Because now your eyes are open through servants who were sent to help you see the truth. But let's see the servant who refused. But if that evil servant, read.
48. And if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming.
Man, we don't know when Christ is coming back. Read.
And shall begin to smite his fellow servants.
He began to fight against his own brothers and sisters.
And to eat and drink with the drunken.
Read.
The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of.
Read on.
And shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. See that? Boom. Right? Y'all see that? We're about to open it up for all of you. And we're going to talk about it, what we've been talked about. Trump is going to do what he's going to do. Just like you had the false flags 6 years beforehand. Well, it was 64. 6 years beforehand, you had the false flags. And then through the false flags 6 years beforehand, they began through Nero's false flag to allow military into our cities. Folks, we're in that same type of time period. Right now, it's going to be all good, and our people are going to welcome the armies as friends. Okay? And the armies with the police are going to do a great job in cracking down on crime until they get a different order. By that time, you'll know what to do, and we'll be here to tell you exactly what that is. Okay? Now, I have a surprise, Shapat. Let me call AC real quick. I have a surprise. I have a surprise for you all today, brothers and sisters. Let me call AC. I have a surprise. Y'all hold tight. Y'all don't want to miss what y'all about to see. Come on, AC, answer the phone.
Shalom, Mother.
Did you finish it?
Yes, sir. We sent it to you through WeTransfer, and also I sent you the link.
There's a link on YouTube?
Oh, not on YouTube. I sent it to you.
Where at?
WeTransfer. On Teams.
On Teams. Okay, hold on.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to do it while you're on the phone. I'm so excited. I am,
job.
brother, I just thank you for doing it. And for you,
the team got together with it, so it's not too bad, actually.
So the whole team got together. I'm going to, brothers and sisters, y'all in for a treat. And make sure y'all join that academy, historytimes.org. I want to break the numbers. I really want y'all to break it. I want y'all to break the record. If we can get, you know what? It'd be nice if we can get 3,000 people into the next academy. And if you haven't, please help. All right? Oh, here it is. Under QuickTime. Hold up. Don't do anything yet. Don't do anything yet. Hold on. Don't do anything yet. All right. Let's go here. Let's see. I hope Rebecca is looking at this.
Oh.
Hold on.
You couldn't use the images though, but
why you couldn't?
The quality.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was pretty tough to get that quality in there.
What quality? I did it for their marriage. I know what to do. Let me tell you. Listen, you know me. I'll find a way. Hold tight. I got a good treat for you all. Hold tight. Let's see. Quick time. Right there. I got a treat, Shapat.
Okay.
Right? I'm excited. Hold on. I got pictures right here. I got pictures. How do I pull up my photos? Oh, don't worry about it. I got it. I have it. Y'all in for some treats, brothers and sisters, right now. Right there. Hold tight. Bear with me. Let me see. Camera. There's more. There's one way. I don't know where Jaffa get this saying from, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. Huh? Let's do it. Right here. This picture right there. I'm going to airdrop that bad boy and send that to Mac computer. Boom. I did it, young man. Okay. Boom. See how I did that? Y'all in for a treat, brothers and sisters. All right. You all are in for a treat. Sister Rebecca, I hope you're there. Boom. And a photo. Hold tight, folks. There it is. I did it. I did it, young man. Okay. Shapat, I didn't tell you about this, okay? So you're hearing this firsthand. Right? Browser. That's browser 2. Along with when the Bible says marry and given into marriage. Right?
Sister Rebecca's in the house. She just put it in the chat.
Hey sis, you're in for a surprise. You are in for a surprise. Here's a surprise, Shapat. You know, she gave her token of virginity and got married to a serious brother, a very good brother, right? A couple of Sundays ago. A matter of fact, thank you, AC. I'll call you back. A matter of fact, Shapat. Let me pull it up here. I never get a day off. While y'all were chilling on y'all Sunday, she asked me to give her away, and I wouldn't have changed that for the world. I would listen. That was one of the better days of my life, right? But I had a surprise. The surprise was there was a song I did, Last Dance, years ago while I was overseas. but I never really completed it. So I was going to sing that song as a gift for their wedding, but when I rendered the file, the song wasn't there on my PDF. Right? So I wasn't able to do it. Right? She married a wonderful brother, Christian, a Simeonite. But you know what? I said, this is what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to record it like I wanted to record it. And I'm going to play it on the broadcast. Right? So so I finished the song. I actually finished it, Shapat. I got a few things, there's a little pitchy things. But I actually finished it today.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it in the headphones, Shapat. So you'll have to hear it back, all right? Because I really want to hear it. Yeah. I hope y'all enjoy it. The song is called My First Dance. My First Dance. And there they go right here. Right? There they go, right? Check this out. Boom. Let's go. Yes, they did it. All right, let me go here. Road. Let me see.
Take my hand, let's go to the floor. Girl, I've been waiting patiently. We're we've been joined as one. I hear our favorite song. They're amazed as we gaze in our moment. Girl, I've been waiting for this day to see you smile. You look so beautiful when coming down that aisle. Our first dance is the first of many. Our first dance will hold each other tight. This is our night to remember. Girl, I've been waiting for this chance to have our first dance. It's just you and I. The whole world is still. An emotion more than love is what I feel as the music plays. I hear our favorite song, baby, when we feel so real in our moment, baby. Been waiting for this day to see you smile. You look so beautiful when walking down that aisle. Our first dance is the first of many. Our first dance will hold each other tight. our first dance. In my own way, standing next to you, it feels just like a dream. Girl, you're my dream come true, love. And will this music play forever? Our birthday, my love, my love. Our first dance, baby, oh, this is our first dance. This is our night to remember. Girl, I've been waiting for this chance to have our first dance. Ooh, won't be alone no more, baby. This is our night. Here come the bride, all dressed in white.
Congratulations, Rebecca. Congratulations, Christian. It's still got to be mixed and all that. It's a little rush job, but thanks for the team, the production team, AC, for making it happen. Shapat, I told him what I was thinking about. I said, I need it in 2 hours. You think you can do that?
Oh, wow.
You know what? You know what? That's what this church is about. And we're in the trumpet right now. We're about to go into atonement, tabernacle. And I was going to sing it that day, but I'm kind of glad I didn't do it because I was able to make a production and I said I would play it live. So congratulations again. And when I'm finished the mixed copy, the finished production, Rebecca, Christian and you will get it first. All right. Congratulations. They did an amazing job with the video, right? Of course, the production, I didn't mix it yet, but you know, the sentiments are still there as far as the care that we have for our brothers and sisters there. Now, I'm opening up, actually. Elder Shapat, it's up to you. It's up to you whether or not you would want to stay through, or I know it's late there. I'm going to take calls for about 30 minutes, and then that will conclude. That would conclude the broadcast, right? As the days of Noah, as you can see, they're ramping up their armies, and it will never go back to the way it was. According to what they're doing, it's the same thing that was done in 70 AD. Okay? Same exact thing. We have to prepare our souls, prepare ourselves to be right with the Almighty. We have to come in, get baptized, and follow the laws and treat each other civilly, because it's about to go down, folks. And what we're going to do almost immediately, in all the cities we don't have churches, we're going to start moving brothers and sisters to actually be there to develop small church communities to be guided through what's about to happen. All right? And something that Bishop Shamar sent me about the angel that would preach at the very end, this gospel shall be preached throughout the earth, and then the end shall come. Well, there's 7 angels over the 7 churches. And we have the ministry that was what? That was destroyed and infiltrated. All the records the Most High said, the earth shall help the woman, he allowed us to go into so that we can develop and find the true gospel, a better word for it, that was lost, that would gather us together in these end days. So when it says an angel that would preach, it's speaking of like the angel who would put a mark on those. And that mark, Shalom.
Shalom.
How you doing, Desiree? Who this?
Oh, it's all of us, both of us. Yeah, it's Rebecca and Desiree. With my mom. We just saw your live.
What you think?
It's good. I wish it would have been ready for the wedding. We could have danced to that instead.
Oh no! Well, you have many days to dance to it, but hey, it's for you and Christian, and I hope the world will like it. And hey, you did it right. The Most High bless you with a good man. Okay.
Thank you. We do appreciate it. Yeah, we're watching, so we really wanted to just say thank you. Really appreciate, all your love and appreciation for us and being present since I was a little girl. So,
hey, you was a little girl when I seen you, but you've grown up to be a virtuous daughter of Zion. So.
Thank you. Christian sends his love as well. He's on the business trip right now, but he is watching where he's at.
Oh, he's a great young man. Thank you, sister. And are y'all getting ready for tabernacles?
Yes, we are. The wedding kind of put us back, but we're trying to speed up the process. But yes, we are getting ready for tabernacles and then Passover, right? But yeah, we're getting ready this week.
Well, check it out. Get your Dominican food ready because we're gonna have we're gonna have food contests with prizes. So we have Judah food, Benjamin food. We got Benjamin food. And of course, I'm going to be one of the judges. I'm going to be sitting there. Hope people don't get offended if I don't choose your dish, but we're going to have our...
Listen, I don't know if y'all remembered, but me and Sister Jenny won a couple years back, so...
Yeah?
Right now, I might come back around,
All right.
Back, but...
All right. Now, I do Judah food, but I do a little bit of different cuisines. I do Mediterranean cuisines. I worked in restaurants and all that. But the reason why I didn't want to enter the contest, because, I didn't want to be able to give all you the business, but
okay. Yeah, now.
But it's all good. I'll just be a tester, and may the best chef win. But we're all winners, and it's going to be nice. I believe this tabernacle is going to be something different, something special. All right.
Definitely believe it. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, sister. And you too, Desiree. Shalom.
Shalom, Elder. Shalom. Thank you for giving my daughter those blessings. It means a lot to us. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. Listen, y'all family. All right. Shalom.
Shalom, y'all.
All right. Blessings. My first dance is the first of many. All right, let's see what our brothers and sisters have to say here. My first dance. Oh, I hope we'll hold each other tight. All right, let me see. Okay, let's see who we have. Okay, sister.
Tell me what you want to talk about.
All right, all right, Sister Jaka, how are you? Sister Jaka? Shalom, you're live with the broadcast with the elders. Yeah. Just turn off YouTube. Just mute YouTube. Shalom, before we say anything, are you in this academy? We try to get up to 3,000. We try to break a number.
Yes, hold on, and let me slow down on the things because I just barely could hear you. Hold on.
Yeah, lower the YouTube. Come on. All right.
There you go. Shalom.
See
Can
that?
you hear me?
Yeah, that's why they got their head up against that wall, boy. They like, hey, Judah has awakened the world. What's behind that wall ain't gonna save you, right? But yeah, talk to me, sister. Talk to me.
Shalom. We just saw the wedding for. It was so beautiful. The song.
Thank you.
It's just so beautiful. And you know what? We've been wanted to. This is Sister Sala's from Brother Sebastian Sala's wife.
Okay.
And my daughter just got married in the Trinidad and Tobago, and we send you some pictures and some of them from Brother Samar.
Yeah.
From Trinidad.
Yeah.
And I told my husband to send him some pictures so they can see them. Bishop. Tazakwa.
Okay.
Is the one that married them. All praises to the Most High. So we did send him some pictures.
Okay, well, I think I do have them. So I'm going to check, and if so, I'll show them next week. All right?
All praises. All praises. It was so beautiful. It was just so beautiful, and I really enjoyed that song. It was beautiful.
Thank you. It's not even mixed, but I really appreciate it. Thank you. You know what? And through this hell and high water we're going through with the enemies attacking and everything else, and the world coming to an end, and Trump's bringing armies all up against our people, immigrants undermining us, you name it. It's a blessing. Right. It's a blessing to have some good moments through this.
Yeah,
right.
It is
right?
So blessing, and not only that, just as a righteous woman and a man that stands with the Most High is the most important thing now.
You got it. Well, thank you, sister. And when I get the pictures, I'll show them next week. Okay?
Yes.
Blessings.
We'll resend them, or tell my husband.
Okay, well, send them to gatheringasone, the number 1 at AOL.com, and I'll get them directly.
All right. All praises.
All right.
Shalom.
See you in that academy this Sunday, right?
Yes, we usually do. Yes, I did got it.
All right.
We'll enroll.
We're trying to get it up to 3,000 now, and help us now. All right.
Yes, we do. And you know what? The most beautiful thing, because I work at the rehab, and the Most High brought a sister from New York that used to be up there and is working in where I worked, and he brought it all the way to New Mexico, and that was just a blessing to me. And I mean, the Most High is working in New Mexico.
All right. Hey, don't worry about it. You'll see us soon. Well, thank you, and we'll talk soon, all right? Thank you.
Hello.
All right. Okay, we have Sherry Isaac on the line. Talk to me.
How you doing?
I am blessed by the best. We're going through 2 minutes each. What say you?
All right.
Hold on. 831, hold on tight. Yes, what say you?
Yeah, my phone been down, so I ain't been able to call in on the show. My name is Darius, if you can remember when I had called in.
Yeah, but what you got to do, brother, your phone is very low.
I'm sorry.
Your phone is very low. You gotta speak into it or something.
Try to take it off. Is it better this way?
It's still pretty low, my brother. Go ahead, say something now.
Huh?
Okay.
Volume up though.
Okay, it's better now. What say you? 831, hold on. What say you?
Yeah, good lesson tonight.
All praises be to the Most High.
About when you see in the internet world, they got this diaspora war going on. What do you think about the people saying that that we was already in America, and then the slave trade went in reverse?
What do you mean slave trade? Brother, can you hear when I'm talking?
About how the so-called African slaves got into America.
Brother, can you hear me when I'm talking or no?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, what does it mean, slavery in reverse? Break that down. What is that?
So they say that, you know, the Northern Kingdom that came over into the North Americas and South Americas. They say that. Go ahead.
All right, let me make it clear for you.
Yeah.
The reason why there's diaspora wars right now. There's diaspora wars is because when it comes to Judah, that's why the Bible says that he must gather Judah first so that the other tribes don't magnify themselves against Judah. Right?
Yeah.
Because Judah has a special scenario with us alone, having been exiled through slavery into America, being the minority. Right? So other people were able to develop their own countries and sustainabilities when it comes to, dictating their social governments and all that puts Judah at a disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
So that's why he said he must gather Judah first, because Judah would be in the neck of his enemy. And the reason why you have diaspora wars, instead of respecting what Judah has done, that gave others opportunity, even though we died given opportunity, you got people who will come up next to Judah, undermine Judah, change the politics, take all the money and everything from our people, and leave us to die, then speak ill of our people. Let me break it all the way down. So what you're seeing is a reaction. It's a reaction to tell people, listen, it's okay to appreciate what we have done for you as a people that would give you the right to be able to come over and partake on the blood of Judah when Judah was left to die. It's about, it's about respect. Now, if people don't disrespect and appreciate, there's no issue.
And it's like, they just do that out blatantly, like off the muscle.
Yeah. So all this is about is a response so that there's appreciation. And I understand that. That's number one. Right? Number two. Yes. We were here before the slave ships.
Yeah.
The 10 tribes came here and we were all Negroid.
Yeah.
So what Esau did was, after slavery was abolished, Esau started opening up what you would call Dawes rolls. And through this, they started calling the black indigenous tribes Negro to throw them in, throw us in, our other people in with the slaves, so that our children wouldn't come back for the land they stole.
Yes, sir.
The North American, when we see these Indians on reservations now looking Asian and looking white, they aren't the original 10 tribes. That's an amalgamation. That's a combination.
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm saying is, the diaspora wars, because they're doing, Esau have pitted everyone against Judah to undermine Judah, knowing Judah would be the one used to help and wake up the rest of the world. And only thing brothers are saying and sisters are saying is, stop aligning yourselves with the governments that have destroyed Judah and side with us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So yeah, we were here. And the 10 tribes were black too. So what Esau did, he opened up the immigration and allowed all of the white people to come in from Germany, Eastern Europe, England, and told them to become Indians under the Dawes rolls, stole the land that belonged to the 10 tribes, which were our people, and put the 10 tribes under Negro. Started label it. Then let me break it down because people are listening here.
Yeah.
and started labeling them Negro so that they couldn't come back to get property that belonged to their forefathers, because now they think we all came off the slave ships. Now, let me tell you about myself personally. My father, and I have a long line of pastors going way back to the slave ships on my father's side in Virginia. That's Judah. Yeah. But guess what? My grandmother, my grandfather's mother, was Cherokee Indian. And yeah, so this is what I'm saying. So she was here, her family was here before my father's side of the family got here. And she was dark skinned. She had long two braids going down, pretty long two braids. One of the most beautiful black women I've ever seen was my grandmother. And she wasn't from the slave ships. But her son, my father, was labeled Negro on the birth certificate. So he can't stake claim to his grandmother's land that the Edomites took and gave it to white people now.
Yeah, that's what everybody think is gonna happen. Like,
yeah,
we gonna
right?
find out
Yeah.
our tribe.
So this, you have the last word. I can't hear what you're saying, brother. You're slurring your words.
I said, it's like the so-called FDAs. It's like we're gonna find our tribe and our heritage, and we want to get back our 40 acres and move mule what they own, what they owed us. And I'm like, man, that is so down.
Listen, brother, I don't get caught up into all the small arguments that's on Twitter or X or whatever the case is. I don't get caught up into that because I understand the purpose behind the conversations. And I'm gonna tell you, before solution can be had, uncomfortable conversations must be had first. And listen, and that's what we're witnessing. I support on the political side our people saying that, even though I know I'm Judah, from the political side, that was ingenious with someone coming up with foundational Black American. And I'm gonna tell you why that was ingenious. Because now we can start looking at people we don't know, who don't have our interests, who may look like us, and be able to check what their purposes are with or against us. See, when we just thought we were African American, which was a Jesse Jackson DNC label, anybody can come in and undermine, and now they destroy us from the inside, like Obama being an African American. But he was sent in not to represent us. He was sent in as an outsider to usurp us. So that term, I can respect that from a political side. But I know who FBA is. FBA is Judah. Okay? FBA is Judah. But now, when you're pushed in a corner and are getting genocided by other people who are coming in looking at you, looking like you, being utilized by the enemy, when your back is up against the wall, brother, what you got to do? You got to fight. And that's what's going on. But Esau did a trick. He says, I'm going to fight you behind people who look like you. See? So when we try to wonder who's regenifying us, who's destroying our people in the schools, we never ask where these people came from. Why our children reading on a 4th grade level, and they got women in our school from other countries who don't even have an interest in the black child.
Yeah.
So Esau did this. He put a black face to destroy us from the inside, which are leading to the questions. Where did you come from? And who interest are you bringing? Yeah. Right? So I respect that term because it's allowing a dialogue to happen and to ask questions concerning the people who's usurping our people. So I know that they're not going to get 40. I don't think they're going to get 40 acres in a room. We don't got no time for that. Esau is about to go into the mark of the beast system. So we're going to get what the Most High said we're going to get, but I love the conversation. I respect the conversation. And guess what? I'm going to tell you this. Anyone who appreciate what Judah did as a beacon of freedom throughout the world don't have no problem with someone checking other people and trying to figure out what their interests are. You got that? Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Just one statement, Elder Carl. You having a Patreon this Friday?
I'm having a Patreon this Friday. Absolutely. 100%.
I'm gonna call in. I just wanted to, because it was funny how the broadcast started about the flat earth. But
well, brother, listen to me, brother. You can call in Friday, but again, the earth I'm walking on is flat, okay? That's the only conversation I'm having concerning that, because no one can prove it otherwise. It's a conversation that came into America from India.
And the one thing I did was not to go. I tried to get my sister.
Brother, you said one thing more and you would call in on Patreon.
I got you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good night. Hey,
Lord, in the morning time, we went from FBA to flat earth. Lord have mercy. Just open up that Bible and read it. We have 831 area code. Listen, everyone knows the same people, the same Satanists that came up with the zeitgeist came up with the flat earth to see if people really, and it's really a sideways attack against those who believe in the Bible. That's what it is. Because if you read the Bible will tell you the earth is round. And if you question that with an Indian ideology that came from the East, they know just how much you didn't read the Bible. It's just an attack on those who believe in the Bible. But again, it's not even worth arguing because it's a conversation that goes nowhere. Okay, what does the shape of the earth have to do with how we get through this? It's a waste of conversation. They got armies coming in and people talking about, well, the earth is flat, the earth is square. They're like, okay, I'm going to stomp both of you out. Now what? Then you can find out what the shape, what is the shape of hell? Okay? 831 area code. You there, Shapat?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
What is the shape of hell, okay? I knew that would get you going. 831 area code, talk to me.
Is it me?
That's you? Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't want to hold up your broadcast, but I needed to talk to you about something that happened, and I needed to talk to you.
What do you mean about what happened? What do you mean?
I tried to talk to leadership about it, but they weren't hearing me or understanding.
Where are you from?
California.
Are you in the Church of California?
Yes.
Okay. If you're talking to leadership about something, tell them tell them to write up a report to give it directly to me about what this something is that they aren't explaining or talking to you about. Now, do you know why I'm doing that?
No.
I'm doing that because the Bible says that all things be established before two or more witnesses. If I hear something one side, I would have a bias. So I'm not going to hear what they have to say. I'm not going to hear what you have to say. The only way to come to a consensus is to hear it together. Because that's fair. Right? Like, for instance, if they told me something about you, would that be fair? Would that be fair for me to now have a conclusion that when you didn't bring your side? Would that be fair to you?
I was looking to try to see if I can set up a meeting.
No, I'm saying,
in them.
Sister, did you hear the question?
Yeah, it wouldn't be fair.
Okay, so when people do that, I believe that when people start talking and they hear, That's intentional. So believe it or not, I have enough patience to hear what you're going to say after that. But don't ignore the question. So let me go back to the question. If they would have called me and tell me one side something according about you that would help me develop a bias without knowing your side, would that be fair to you?
No.
So would that be fair to me to hear what your side is outside of them without both of you being present?
No, it wouldn't be fair.
So I believe you want a righteous judgment, correct?
Yes.
The Most High says before, how many witnesses let all words be established?
2.
There you go.
2 or 3, I believe.
Exactly. And if you're right, it's going to be showed they're wrong and it's going to be corrected. If you're wrong, you're going to see you're wrong, and everyone, either side, is going to be better after that, right? Because we followed what God said. That's what you want, right?
Yeah.
I've seen instances where someone would try to give me their side and hope that I make a judgment on one way and then blame me, right, for not executing a judgment from one side without the other person. Even if I invited the person to talk and say, let me hear what's going on, and one person don't show up. But then they're looking at me as an unrighteous judge when they didn't come for the judgment. So I'm not playing that no more. I'm not playing that call on the phone, all that other slimy stuff that people be doing out there. If it ain't 2 witnesses, I'm not involved. And this have nothing to do with you. Okay? You got it?
Okay.
So I'm sure whatever it is, it can be fixed. And I'll be here for you. So do me a favor. Speak to the elder or deacon. I'm sure they're listening to this. And let them know I spoke to Elder Ricard Yard and I would like a counsel beyond the one I'm having here. That's the first step, right? The first step is to go to them. If they didn't resolve it, you can request a private counsel with them and you, and we'll get to the bottom of it. And we're going to hear it as if what? As if we're hearing it for the first time with you talking to them. Fair?
Okay. Yes.
Let's get to the bottom of it. All right?
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And I would like to see this before Friday, please, if you can.
Okay.
All right? We do have a protocol. If there's an issue with the areas and they're not doing judgment, people in the congregation can request a higher counsel. Right? Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Blessings. And see, if we do things like that, Christ is in the midst. And see, if you don't do things like that, the devil is in the midst because he wanted to just be chatty on one side with the devil and don't want a solution. So they'll just run with what they can run with. That's how the devil works. That's how dissension happens. Because now they've come to a conclusion in their mind that they've made true, even if it's a lie. I don't get pulled into no crap like that. I need to hear all sides, and then the scripture speaks. That's how it goes. All right, who we got next? You know what I mean? You can't be, nah, men don't operate like that. Hold on. 404 area code. Hello?
Hello.
404 area code. Did you call the broadcast?
Yeah.
This sounds like a baby.
I just want to say something to you.
Where's your parents?
I'm right here. She wanted to. Hi, my name is Victoria. This is my daughter. Her name is Skylar. She just wanted to say thank you.
Skylar, the beautiful Skylar. How old are you?
9.
And you just wanted to say hello.
Yeah.
Thank you, Skylar. So you like the teachings online on YouTube?
Yeah.
Are you going to be in the academy?
Maybe.
Maybe.
What is the academy?
The Hebrew Bible Academy that Mama be listening to on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said maybe. See, that I love the honesty of children. Well, thank you, Skylar. Listen to your mother and father.
Okay.
And always listen to them over any other people, and including strangers that may teach you later. Always trust your family over strangers. All right.
All right.
What's the Most High's name, Skylar?
Ahia.
Oh, shucks! Now, round of applause for that. All right, Skylar. What is Christ's name, Skylar?
Isaiah.
Woo! You hurting the game, ain't you? You see this, Shabbat? Look what the Most High is doing. Have you learned the Hebrew alphabet yet?
No.
Okay, tell your mother to go over it with you. Lawyer does a great job with it, all right? It's easy. Abagada, Hawazaka. It's easy. You will learn it just like ABCs, all right?
Okay.
Have a good night.
You too.
And
love you.
Oh, love you too. What is your mother's name?
Victoria Hunt.
Victoria, what you got?
Hunt.
What you got this baby up this time of night for, huh?
She heard you guys on, and she was like, I just want to say hey to Elder Ricard.
You tuck that baby up in the bed. You know what I mean? Come on now.
Yes, sir.
All right. See you later.
Yeah, good night.
All right, good night. Shalom.
Shalom.
Look at that. See, Shabbat, now you see why the enemy's mad? You see why they're mad right now, right? Our children, the next generation, yeah, they're not going to have to fight through the lies we had to fight through. This is why that's why they locking everything down, and they're seeking to grip up these children and just raise them separate from the parents. That's what's coming. And I'm glad we got our own school now, and our own grade school coming. So I'll tell you what. Well, that concludes our broadcast. Jerusalem compassed with armies. Stay prayed up, sin not. We will soon see Zion. Brothers and sisters, join the Hebrew and Bible Academy. There's nothing like it on the earth. And guess what? Tell your children, never talk to strangers. My parents told us that growing up, but guess what? It means so much now in the world of just, they done put all these strangers and nut jobs from other countries, undocumented, all next to us, freaks and all that. There's a culture, a cataclysm going on, a clash of cultures right now, bringing people who are used to dealing with one thing one way and one thing over entirely different than how the United States operate. And what do I mean by that? And sisters, I'm going to tell you, keep your head on a swivel and don't talk to strangers, sisters. Because what we have come accustomed to and interacting in our culture in the United States, it's entirely different. You get with one of these guys overseas and they come over here with under their culture, you have a disagreement with one of these people that from one of these Shiite countries and all that, man, they'll just get rid of you and no one will hear from you. Because that's the way they're used to. They used to just, if a woman talk back, if a woman say something, hey, their culture is weird. Right? So protect yourself. Okay? We're dealing with a cultural cataclysm right now. They're throwing everything at us at once with all of these other people. Stay prayed up to the Most High. Be careful around strangers. Follow God's law. Get your house in order. Christ is coming back. With that, thank you, Shabbat. May the Most High stay with you. Stay prayed up. Sin not. We will soon see Zion. We're the children of Israel. And that's right. HistoryTimes.org. We are back. We need to get that academy up to 3,000. If you haven't been in the academy, come on in. Shalom. Thank you, Elder Shabbat.
Praises. Shalom.
All right. Get some rest, young man.
The Arabs and Africans told us together our wives and children then sold us. In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. Together us in Colombia, Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans, a highest gathering Israel, the Negroes, Benjamin, the West Indians, Levi, the Haitians, a highest gathering Israel. Asher in Colombia, Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans. That's who we be. Judah, the Negroes, Benjamin, the West Indians, Levi, the Haitians, Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, and Valley from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulon from Panama, Gad, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans, our highest gathering Israel. Is written all over your face. Scientific intricity you created out in space. Oh yeah. You can do what you wanna do. Tampa folks, we know you're listening. You can think how you wanna think now, but you can't stop us. The truth is rising. We with you. I'm looking down without a fight. You think that I can't see what you're doing to me? Yeah, you cannot be me. 'Cause I'm my hand on your heel, I'm pulling through. A step ahead of you. You think that I can't see? You know you're wrong with me. You think you're controlling me? You thought that I would stay your slave? Ain't no strings on me. Oh no, controlling us with your frequencies, making it so hard to get away. You can do what you wanna do. Tampa folks, we know you're listening. You can think how you wanna think now, but you electrical currents, so current, leaving you paralyzed. And this truth is so amplified while your ego's reduced in size. We a menace to your society, taking your kingdom violently. Bring a paddle to the battle, we can be in a valley of an alley. With the matter, it's a matter of time. They gonna where we done, you can do it for science. I run the race until I finish. A higher power giving me the ability. Chosen people with no other mystery. We won't stop.
You think I can't see? Hey, what you doing to me? You cannot defeat me. My hand on your heel, I'm pulling through. A step ahead of you. You think that I can't see? You know.